Good Friday to you. How we looking? The Bill Michaels Show is on the air today. And we are glad you are here as the G turns. We've got all kinds of stuff to get into today. Oh, my goodness. All kinds of stuff. We're going to hear some of the comments from James Jones, the former Green Bay Packer, who had some things to say regarding Aaron Rodgers. And yesterday was a day you and I kind of went through the conspiracy theory side of things. And we talked about the possibility of getting this thing worked out between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And I have stood steadfast in saying that if all of this is true and he's that upset, and I don't know whether it's the fan in me or what, but 70% of me said that he would probably end up somewhere else. Okay. But I left a large margin, 30%, open to him returning. Okay? So, and I still firmly believe that. And then yesterday happened, in which you had Adam Shefter go on the Dan Patrick Show and say that he didn't have direct sources, but he had kind of accumulated some things that he had heard from people over time. All right. So I started, kind of thinking about this a little bit. I started thinking about this to the point that, people are calling Adam Shefter a liar, as if he was trying to, in some way, shape, or form, hijack draft day. And that's not it. I said that before. That's not it. And I mean, for all the people that are just ripping Adam Shefter, the one thing, let me go back. Let me step up here. The stuff on draft day I talked about time and again. The fact that the original call was placed and not denied now by anybody. I mean, you've even got Kyle Shanahan discussing it, John Lynch discussing it, talking about different phone calls. Now, there is tampering, so they're going to deny certain things. But Aaron Rodgers himself said to Mike Tirico, and Mike Tirico reported, not that Aaron Rodgers denied any of this. He's just said, it's disappointed it got out. The Packers now admit, we flew there not once, not twice, but 3 different times. So none of this is untrue. But when you deliver news that is not wanted to a fan base, Packers fans are very passionate, very faithful. Okay? Hey, if you're winning and you're the one that's kind of stirring the drink, and we've got hopes with you, and you're our guy. The pendulum shifted from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers proved himself. And then we all know you can't be a blind fan and say, well, he's won for 4 NFC Championship games. Well, we know that that's different. We know there's a lot more to it than that. Okay? Because Packers fans, if anything, are unbelievably intelligent. You are to football what Cardinals fans and Reds fans are to baseball. Yankees fans are to baseball. They're historic. They're dedicated. They're passionate. You're knowledgeable. All right. But also, the bottom line is you're a fan. So when unwanted news is brought about your franchise or a player within your franchise, it's not wanting to be believed. And then when it's delivered originally by somebody who actually works for a rival, it's even more so to where you want to, discredit it and say, no, that's not true. That's not true. But no, it is. Again, by what's not been said. Nobody's denied it. At first they did, and then after that it's like, well,
We flown out and talked to Aaron. Aaron said, I wish it hadn't got out. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Denver, Mark Schlereth. I mean, everybody's getting it from somewhere, right? This isn't just all of a sudden made up stuff. So when Adam Shefter says, well, I didn't really get it from a source, he didn't come out and start lying about it. Okay. There's two things to remember here. One, he's got the same representation that Aaron Rodgers does. He can't throw his own agency under the bus. It's not good business, even though we all know it. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And secondly, he's right. There have been things said. Aaron Rodgers has said things himself. You just kind of put all of the little backhanded slaps together and you're like, this is a guy that's pretty consistently coming out and kind of throwing some shade, So for those of you that wanted to jump on Adam Shefter yesterday, no, I'm not. I had people on Twitter last night asking me if I feel validated now. No, that doesn't validate me, nor does it discredit me. I know what I know. I've talked to people that I trust. Adam is as in tune with as anybody I know. You don't go in that direction. You just know where you're at. Okay. Put it this way. If it wasn't true and everything was a lie, don't you think both sides have already broken bread and said, hey, this is all crap? Don't you think Matt LaFleur wouldn't have looked like the kid sitting outside the principal's office waiting to find out what his punishment was going to be for whatever it is they found on him, and he did? He looked devastated at the last presser when asked about all of this stuff. So I'm not here at all today to throw any shade on anybody. Rob Domofsky as well. Rob came out and said, this is, in response to my tweet, said, this is not true. This is not true. And I know he probably called Gutekunst. And Gutekunst said, I didn't speak with. Okay. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. And you're not going to admit things like that. There are just times that you just don't. You got caught with your pants down. So, other guys, John Kuhn went on a national radio show on CBS and said, yeah, this thing's not over. This thing's not this thing's not over, but he confirmed that there's still some angst there. He confirmed that. You've got numerous people that have said they talked to Aaron Rodgers. Not one of them has said, no, Aaron never said that. Aaron's fine. I don't know what people are talking about. Nobody said that, right? So no, I'm not going to sit here and throw a bunch of shade over at Adam Shefter today, just because it's not right. It's not right. 877-867-1670 today on a Friday, a Chug Challenge Friday. We need that after this week, don't we? We really do. We need it after the week we've gone through. Everything that's been going on with, every little layer of the onion that starts to get peeled back. Everybody's digging for something. We need this. We need the Chug Challenge today. Unfortunately, Brewers swept out of Philadelphia. Another tight ball game in which the mustering of runs just never materialized. Just never happened. And, the struggles offensively continue. They get knocked off yesterday 2-0 by the Phillies. And Wheeler, was dealing a 3-hit shutout. A 3-hit shutout by Wheeler yesterday. A complete game. Goes 9 innings, gives up only 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, did not allow a walk. That's one of those games where you can look at it and just say, masterful performance, kudos to you. Kudos to you. McKinney with a base knock yesterday. Lorenzo Cain comes in a pinch hit situation from Ailey. base knock yesterday, and Garcia in a pinch hit situation gets a base knock yesterday. That was it. No real threat, nothing. It was just a masterful performance. So you give it up. You give it up. Unfortunately, it also sealed the sweep as the Brewers now have a 5-game losing streak, and which is, not what you want, obviously. Now the Brewers, they go to Miami. They got the Marlins coming up tonight, a 6:10 Central Time start. So maybe they can get a little bit right against the Marlins. And they did. And the last time these two teams met, they did fall 2 out of 3 to the Marlins as well. So they beat the Dodgers 3 out of 4, a positive. But they are 4 and 6 in their last 10 games since the Marlins series. 4 and 6 in their last 10 games. Lost 2 to the Marlins, won 3 against the Dodgers, then have lost 5 straight. Hopefully the bleeding stops tonight. 877-867-1670. You can find us over on Twitter at Bill_Michaels. At Bill_Michaels. You can also track us down over on the Facebook fan page. Go to facebook.com/The Bill Michaels Show. YouTube and on Twitch. Hey, thanks to everybody that's continuing to subscribe to us on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitch TV, on the app. It's completely free of charge. And we just, I appreciate it when you do it. Thanks to everybody. I try to respond or at least talk about everybody that chimes in over on the Bud Light live stream as well. So thanks to everybody. 877-867-1670. This one is from Ash, who says, with the Brewers leading Major League Baseball in strikeouts and a .212 team batting average and like a .320 on base average, maybe people should choke up after a couple of strikes. I think at this point, they should go up there with a tennis racket. Just, when you're struggling as bad as they are. Now, the good thing is in the last 3-4 games, they, against the Phillies specifically, they battled back. The problem was they just couldn't get that last key hit. They couldn't keep it going. It's been tough to watch with runners on, the winning run on, the lead run on in the 9th inning, and this team just can't get that big base knock. They've just fallen short. It's like they're right there. They just need something to kick the door down. And we were feeling so good about this team coming out of the Dodgers series. And since then, it's just been, close but no cigar, which doesn't get you a win and certainly didn't extend your lead. If anything, you are now trailing when it comes to the standings of Major League Baseball. You no longer are on top in the National League Central. You're a game back of St. Louis. And you're now getting ready to take on a team that beat you 2 out of 3, even though they have a sub 500 record. The Brewers a couple of games over, and the Cubs have now climbed back into this thing with Cincinnati 2.5 back, Pittsburgh 4 back in the cellar. So it's been a lot of shuffling going on in the National League Central here as of late. This one's from Mark. Mark says, hey, Bill, welcome to Friday. What are you chugging today? We're doing Bud Light. I don't know what glass I'm using yet, though, but we're doing Bud Light. I haven't gotten any new glasses recently, so might have to go back into repetition. Just an FYI. He said, you are correct. We all need to drink after this week. Aaron Rodgers turning down the Packers' offer to become the NFL's highest paid quarterback makes me sick. That makes me believe that there is a lot more to this than meets the eye. Your thoughts? The story just came out about 30 minutes ago in the New York Post and in the New York Post. I shouldn't say and anywhere else, the New York Post. And I'll retweet it, but it basically says, and I'll talk more about this, but not even a colossal paycheck could repair the Aaron Rodgers relationship with the Packers. No secret that Rodgers has been at odds with his team for a while. But it says in the article 16 years. It's not 16 years. It's been less than that. Green Bay seemingly scrambling to retain their starting quarterback. They've publicly expressed how much they value him And according to The Athletic, the Packers put their money where their mouth is by offering to make him the league's highest paid quarterback. The report does not say when the offer came, only that it happened in recent months, and Rodgers then turned it down. But one organization willing to give him more than $45 million per year, which nearly doubles the $21.5 million that he is set to make in 2021. Green Bay was so desperate to hang on to Rodgers, they were ready to give him a contract that surpassed Patrick Mahomes in terms of yearly value, who signed that 10-year, $450 million extension. So in other words, you're talking about paying that guy $45 to $50 million a year. It's unclear what the length was of the deal, but Rodgers has made it clear he's not going to sign a one-year deal. So if the Packers offered a contract that made him the highest paid quarterback for just 2021 with no further amenities or guarantees, that's why he said no. Rodgers apparently went to the Packers at the end of the season and said, let's extend me out 4 or 5 years. Let's do this. And the Packers said, nah, we'll give you one. That's what I've been telling you for a while now. That's what we've been hearing. Rodgers has 2 years left on his contract with a non-guaranteed $51 million reportedly wanted that the team wanted to give him in a new contract that would ensure he is the starting quarterback beyond 2020. Packers could pick up roughly $22 million in cap space if they cut him after the upcoming season. And when the organization traded up, we all know that started the clock ticking. Now we're waiting to see if they regret that move. So even when the Packers came and said, hey, we'll make you the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, Rodgers said no. Now, I don't think Rodgers said no to 5 years at $50 million per. I think what Rodgers said no to is, you're not going to come here and throw a bunch of money at me for 1 year. Go away. That's not right, because it doesn't matter. You're still not giving me what I wanted. And what I wanted was to be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers so I could retire here, get more championships here. And he wants to become the greatest. He wants to win 2 more Super Bowls, to have more Super Bowls than Bart Starr and to have more Super Bowls than Brett Favre. That's what he wants. 1 more Super Bowl puts him in the strata of Bart Starr. 2 more would make him stand alone. Now, Bart Starr is going to have more championships than anybody. We all know that. But in the modern era, that would have given Aaron Rodgers what he wanted. And if they come to him and say, we'll give you 1 more year, that's not giving him what he wants. That's why there's so much consternation right now. We're back at it. How about that? Let's do this. We'll step away, take a quick break. And today, we're going to talk some Bucks, going to talk some Brewers. And today, we begin our discussion with golf. Our buddy Todd Campbell, the general manager at the Four Seasons Island Resort, but also a golf enthusiast himself. We're going to talk with him coming up a little bit later on the program as well. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
Ready?
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
You got to hit it back right.
Welcome back to the program. Bill Michaels Show continues on. So Randy says, so what happens when a deal doesn't get done? What's your story then? And I said, you're right. It could drag out a little bit longer. It could drag all the way out through August or September or October. And I said, just hopefully they reach a deal. And, you know, for myself, I hope Rodgers stays. And Randy says, well, maybe drag it out for 2 more years. Great journalism. First of all, Randy, are you a D-bag all the time? All the time? Just, you know, it's not about being great journalism. It's about what you know. I don't understand why people get so jerky, you know? Who cares? If it works out, it works out. Big deal. I mean, that's what everybody hopes for, right? I think deep down, every Packers fan hopes it works out. He gives you the best chance to win. I know there's some people that don't believe that, but the record speaks for itself. He's not an injury-prone guy, much to some people's disdain. I mean, he gives you the best chance to win. And the bottom line is, as fans, I think for 3 reasons here. 1, Aaron Rodgers gives you the best chance to win. 2, you know that if he leaves, you really, really got to hope that, 1, Jordan Love, it's the fear of the unknown, the uncertainty. And the fear of the unknown is because there's a talk about, well, we got to go out and get veteran backups. Well, I understand that, because if he does leave, then you do need somebody behind Jordan Love. But I'll tell you this, and I'm getting a lot of others to say, well, you know, the plan is for Jordan Love to sit for 3 years and to learn and to do. Wait a minute. You jumped up in the draft. You traded up to get him in the first round. First rounders normally don't sit. It is ideal for a quarterback to at least sit back for a year and get some experience. But first rounders, especially ones that you traded up to go get, that you fell in love with, no. You don't tell me he's a 3-year project, not in the first round. Third rounders are 3-year projects. Fourth rounders, they're 3-year projects. First rounders that you traded up to get, no. The reality is that, yeah, maybe he needs a little bit of seasoning, and that's why you want him, you know, in that room, understanding the philosophies, understanding the playbook for at least a year. But no. No. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. 877-867-1670. Got a couple people chiming in here. I want to do this. I'll get back to you in just a minute. I do want to bring this up. So James Jones says he spoke with Aaron Rodgers about this just a little while ago, a couple of times this week. Take a listen to what he had to say.
It can be fixed, and I've talked to him a couple times, but this is something that I do feel like it can definitely be fixed. Sitting down with the head coach, the GM, really going over stuff, really ironing things out, some family business out. I think that this can definitely be fixed. The bad thing about it is Aaron Rodgers did not leak this. The Green Bay Packers did not leak this. So Aaron has not come out and said, I want the GM fired. I'm angry that they drafted Jordan Love. Everything that you hear all these guys talking about, he hasn't came out and said anything like that. And that is not even Aaron Rodgers' MO. So when I hear all this, I'm like, man, 12 doesn't even come out like that, and that's not how he does things. Whatever he does, he keeps it within the organization. But talking to him, this is definitely something that can be fixed. I think it will be fixed. And I think you will see Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay uniform for a very long time.
That's good news. That's good news. The one issue I'll take with James is he says, well, 12 has not said it. 12 has not even brought this up. This is not 12's makeup. Okay. Then where is 12? Why isn't he dispelling any of this? Why is he saying, I never said that? That's not what I was thinking. I've never said any of this. And again, the Packers confirmed that they went to see Aaron not once, not twice, but 3 different times. He has not been restructured. They do not have additional salary cap space. Devontae Adams, this guy tweeting out, should have appreciate what you have while it's here. Kind of a cryptic message that then Aaron Rodgers liked, by the way. I mean, come on. But again, going back to the good news of this, of what James Jones is saying, is that he believes, when he was asked, can this be reconciled between the Packers and Rodgers?
It can be fixed, and I've talked to him a couple times, but this is something that I do feel like it can definitely be fixed. Sitting down with the head coach, the GM, really going over stuff, really ironing things out, some family business out. I think that this can definitely be fixed.
So again, ironing. If there's nothing there, what's there to iron out? James was asked, saying, look, a lot of these questions that are being raised right now and the media finding out about some of this stuff, and there's a lot of things out there via the media about the split between between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
The bad thing about it is Aaron Rodgers did not leak this. The Green Bay Packers did not leak this. So Aaron has not come out and said, I want the GM fired. I'm angry that they drafted Jordan Love. Everything that you hear all these guys talking about, he hasn't came out and said anything like that. And that is not even Aaron Rodgers' MO.
So again, kind of reiterating the same thing what he said. So James Jones saying, I've talked to Aaron numerous times. This can be fixed. So when people say, well, it's bogus. No, it's really not.
Talking to him, this is definitely something that can be fixed. I think it will be fixed. And I think you will see Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay uniform for a very long time.
So there you go. So there you go. If there's nothing there, then no big deal. Uh, 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. And again, it's not, I'm not going to argue with people on Twitter. You have no idea what you're talking about. And that's what makes me kind of giggle is, they're mad that the story came out at this time. Even there's more than 10% truth to it. It was the worst timing to make it all believable. A day later or sooner would have made it 200% more believable. No, The story got out because of the night before when the 49ers made the call. The timing was the timing. You talk about the story when the story happens. You don't hold it off for what? For what? What? Because it overshadowed what? Your draft night? That's not the way it works. You know? That's just not the way it works. It wasn't like people made it up and held on to it until that day. It happened because of the call made the night before. What about this? Don't people understand? We didn't make the call. We didn't make it up. And then the story's out there. It was aired that day. From the night before, information got out. The story was aired that day. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, go ahead and do so. Again, 877-867-1670. Dustin says, I respect a lot of what the NFL Network analysts have to say, but I can't stand James Jones. He's always been a Packer homer since joining the network and has picked them to go 16-0 numerous times. He has never had anything bad to say about Rodgers and never will. But if he's picked them to go 16-0, they've been 13-3 the last 2 years, which means he's only been wrong 6 times. You know, I know he didn't pick them to win the NFC Championship game against San Francisco. That I know. Because everybody in the world knew they weren't going to beat San Francisco. San Francisco just had too much. I mean, everybody was hoping that Aaron Rodgers was going to play some kind of a spectacular game and just make it a shootout and a track meet, and that never materialized. I don't think there's many people that thought that the Packers were going to go to San Francisco and get the win. Last year, you know what? I don't think there's a game that I would have picked them to lose in. They just got rolling, and you could just see it going. Even in the postseason, I thought they were going to beat the Buccaneers. I really did, and they were the better team. They were the better team. There's 2 years that are going to stick with us. 2014 in the NFC Championship game against the Seattle Seahawks, because I firmly believe they win that game, they win a championship. They were the best team. They were the best team. And then this past year, they were the best team. These 2 years, there should be three Super Bowls under Aaron Rodgers sitting right now in the trophy case at Lambeau Field. And there's not. 2014 was a myriad of issues. Everything from taking your foot off the gas via play calling in the third quarter to Julius Peppers telling Morgan Burnett to go down. Micah Hyde not being in the right place in the 2-point conversion. Clay Matthews pulling himself inexplicably out of the game. Bostic going up and grabbing the onside kick instead of allowing it to fall in the arms of Jordy Nelson. I mean, we can go on and on. And then this past year, Aaron Rodgers missing with Devontae Adams 3 straight times in the end zone, not hitting Alan Lazard, not running the football either into the end zone or down to the goal line. The interception, Shannon Sullivan dropping a pick, Equinemius St. Brown dropping a 2-point conversion, Aaron Jones fumbling away the football. I mean, there's plenty of things you can look at and say, yeah, there's mistakes there that cost you the ball game. You got to play a clean game, and they didn't. But that doesn't make them the best team. They were the best team. And had they won both of those games, I firmly believe they have two more championships sitting inside the trophy case at Lambeau Field. Without a doubt. 877-867-1670. Stay with us. Got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. Bill Michaels Show continues on. People just get so pissed. It's like they just don't want to listen. They don't want to believe. It's like, nah, you're lying. You're a liar. Your credibility's shot. Why? Why? You know, there's an old adage in this business that some people wear as a badge of honor that haters make you famous. And they do. Because they'll keep coming at you and keep displaying you and displaying you and displaying you and displaying you, hoping to get something so they can go, aha, and make themselves feel smarter. Like, it is what it is. you know? Darren says 2011 was a tough one as well, going 15-1 and losing in the divisional round to the Giants. And remember this. That year, who beat them? It was Romeo Crennel and his defense with Kansas City. And at the time, and it was so, I still remember it today. I'm doing the post-game show, and we had said at the time that this game, meaning the game against Kansas City, what they did was different as opposed to what everybody else did. They played punch you in the mouth, press man at the line of scrimmage. They were not going to allow Jordy Nelson loose. They were not. And they were up at the line, and they were punching everybody in the mouth. Everybody. And I just remember watching Jordy struggle just to get off the line. I mean, it was almost to the point where Kansas City was just going to play it dirty until the whistle blew. And I was doing the post-game show with Gary Ellerson, and I said to Gary, I said, did we just watch the blueprint as to how to beat the Packers? And the term blueprint gets thrown around a lot. Well, that's the blueprint for this. Well, this is the blueprint, and the game is fluid. Every situation, the adjustments that are going on in every game, it's fluid. But that game was eye-opening because the Packers looked a little shocked because they were rolling. I mean, they were rolling. That was the most prolific offense that I had seen. I mean, the connection between Brady and Randy Moss, go back to like Dan Marino and Mark Super Duper, I mean, Montana and Rice. The way those offenses rolled, that connection rolled, but Aaron Rodgers had that with everybody. Everybody. So, I mean, that offense looked like a machine. And then when they got beat by Kansas City, they looked shocked. Like, wow, what we normally do just isn't working. Somebody stopped us. I mean, and then it was, you can kind of look at Mike McCarthy and go, well, you just picked up where you left off the next week and things began to roll again. But when you got into the postseason, when the exact same thing happened, because that's when Eli Manning was coming into Lambeau. Remember that, that Lambeau picture that was on the front of the New York Daily News that on game day? And it showed up with this bulked up caricature of Eli Manning with this Rambo-esque gun and the bandana and the whole thing coming into Lambeau Field because he'd already won there. He beat Favre in an NFC Championship game. So it was I'll never forget it. They did the exact same thing. They punched the Packers in the mouth, and Kansas City set the table, blueprint, if you will, for that. And the Packers didn't adjust. They just didn't. They didn't have an answer. They didn't adjust to it. Didn't do it very well. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Kevin says, I think Florio is behind all of this. And Kevin also said, you said yesterday you were trying to tell me that the Niners made an offer and Shifty said there was no offer. Shifty is covering for Rodgers. I don't know. I just know what I've heard. I know the two people that I've heard this through, and I trust. And since then, the 49ers have talked about it. The Packers denied it, but what was very much, you got to listen to what's not said. Gutekunst said, I didn't talk to anybody. Doesn't mean it wasn't out there. Sometimes when people say an offer's been made and you hear about it, sometimes it's an official offer. It's a, hey, this is what we would like to do. Are you interested? Here it is. We'll send it over in an email. Okay, it's kind of an official offer. Then there's the, hey, hypothetically, what if, maybe, Then there's that. Then there's coach to coach, that type of thing. Then there's somebody in your organization, president to president, Hey, my guy would like to talk to your guy about trading for Aaron Rodgers. We'd love to give you our 3rd overall pick. You guys take Garoppolo, maybe a starter or 2, maybe some more picks in the future. Okay, no, we don't want that. Okay, that's not an official offer. But things get talked about. This happens all the time. The only time it becomes crap is when it's to your team and it's not news you want to hear. Did you ever notice that? We'll believe everything else and everything else happens. Everything. Oh, okay. Good source. Oh, he's always got all the information. But then he says something about your team. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. That guy's full of crap. Because that's what's going on. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. You want to hit us up? Do it. Do it. Love to hear from you. Scott just says everybody needs to relax. Needs to relax. Aaron asks, hey, Bill, based on what we've seen of Love, and I know it's not much, what current quarterback would you compare him to? I have not seen Jordan Love do anything. I'll be 110% honest with you. I have not seen him do anything. He was not active throughout the season. I was not privy. One of the internal few that were selected during COVID to go into practices. So I don't know, but I know what I've been told. And I know what the comparison was when he came out of college. The comparison by many when he came out of college to the style of which he played, the way he delivered the football, was to Brett Hundley. That was the comparison to Brett Hundley. And I went, oh my God. But what I've heard is that, and the term that was used to me by 2 or 3 different people, and even at the end of the season, was he's swimming. Now, usually what that means is he's not, the absorption of information of what it is you need to see is not there. He's not getting it. Aaron Rodgers, when he first came into the league, when he would run the scout team, he would absorb it in a couple of days and execute it to the point where he was beating the starters. Was tearing the starters up. Charles Woodson said that the other day. Said Rodgers came in, he beat us. He beat us. When he'd go at the number ones, when he'd go at the top offense, Rodgers would get it. So your job is to, as a backup is to run the scout team. And that was when you had, now granted, don't get me wrong, back early on, I mean, it was, go back to when Aaron Rodgers was drafted. You're talking about, Grady Jackson and Cullen Jenkins and who else with Kabir early on in his career, and Paris Lennon and Nick Barnett and Al Harris and Mark Roman and Nick Collins. And you go through that list of guys. But as Aaron got better, he was going through a lot of the same guys on that scout team. He was going through that group. That's when they had gotten rid of some of the guys, and then it was Al Harris and Atari Bigby and Nick Collins, and Charles Woodson was on that team. And Woodson, when he was brought in, I mean, that was after they drafted A.J. Hawk and Nick Barnett and Brady Papinga and Cullen Jenkins, and they had Corey Williams and Ryan Pickett brought in by then. And that was still the last year of Brett Favre. And Rodgers is running that scout team and just chewing them up. Chewing them up. So Charles Woodson knew when you're young, you're just trying to absorb a little bit of what the opponent does, understand it, and go and let the defense make plays so they get a look at it. Not Aaron Rodgers. He was out to win. He was beating up that number one team. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Let's do this. We'll step away, take a quick break. We'll come back. More of the Bill Michaels Show. That's coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program, the Bill Michaels Show. We are good to go today. How are we looking? How are we looking? Now, I will say this. I had said that, if you're going to not have Aaron Rodgers here, then you got to go with Jordan Love. And the question was, what do we know about Jordan Love? And I said, look, I get that there is a project and rookies. I don't think any rookie should be thrown into the starting mix with the world of expectations on their shoulder. But if you're going to draft a guy in the first round, he better, you can't call him a 3-year project. Not in the first round. And then when you trade up to get that guy in the first round, he better have first round capability and ability to play. Don't tell me, well, we got to find somebody else because he's not ready. That means you missed. That means what you did was you traded up for a guy in the first round who is not ready to play. Now imagine this. Imagine this. Hang in there with me. Let's say Stokes. Let's just take Stokes, for example. Let's say Stokes not only doesn't play, but isn't even active. Take that, for example. Okay? You with me? Would you then consider if Stokes was a guy that you looked at, Eric Stokes, the 6'1", 94-pound cornerback out of Georgia? If Stokes didn't play and you said he was a 3-year project because of the knowledge he needs in the secondary, what would you say? He's a bust. He's not a first-round talent. Right? First, second, and third round guys usually play. Unless, of course, you have a Hall of Famer in front of you, but then they usually play. So once the Hall of Famer is gone, that'd be like Eric Stokes. They drafted him, and Charles Woodson's ahead of him. Okay, I get it. Charles Woodson's there. He's not going to knock Charles Woodson out of the starting role. But if Charles Woodson leaves after a year, you better look at me and say Eric Stokes is ready to play. We drafted him in the first round as a corner. You're not going to say, we're going to bring in another veteran and let him sit for 2 years. Right? Otherwise, you'd say, what are you doing drafting that guy in the first round for? Exactly. 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. Got a lot more to get to on this Friday. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up after this.
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
Yesterday afternoon would see the Milwaukee Brewers get swept by the Philadelphia Phillies. Brewers ace Brandon Woodruff was on the mound. He went 6 2/3 innings, allowing 1 run on 2 hits and striking out a season-high 11. But it was the Brewers' offense that could not come through, as they could only collect 3 hits in their 2-0 loss to the Phillies. The Brewers now dropped to 17-15 on the season. That's good for second in the NL Central. They're back at it as they travel to Miami to take on the Marlins tonight for a 6:10 first pitch. Brent Suter is on the mound opposite of Trevor Rodgers. To the NFL, Aaron Rodgers' watch continues. This time, James Jones, Rodgers' former teammate and friend, spoke on the NFL Network about the situation facing the two sides.
The organization side of it comes into place, and you talk about, him and the GM and the head coach working together. I think it's fixable. I think they'll be able to get that stuff done. But I think that's what it's about. It's not about getting the GM fired. It's not about new contract. It's all about making sure that you're putting the team in the best situation to win some championships.
So your current job isn't working out so well? Maybe you'd like a career where you work with your hands and make a good living. Have you thought of a career in a skilled trade like plumbing, electrical, or HVAC? You can be in demand and earn more than many college graduates without all the debt. To get your career started, go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin. Start today.
The Milwaukee Bucks are riding a 4-game winning streak and are sitting at 42-24 in the Eastern Conference. That's good for third, as they're a game and a half back of the Nets for the second spot. The Deer are back in action tonight when they return to the Pfizer Forum to take on the Houston Rockets for a 7 o'clock tip. And finally, Wisconsin basketball's Jonathan Davis was invited to try out for the U.S. national team as they're competing for the FIBA Under-19 World Cup in Latvia this July. For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Ebo.
Peter Bukowski He had posted and works with the SB Nation and Packer Report and all that kind of stuff, Locked on Packers podcast. He had put out a report that Todd McShay, if you go back in history, had Jordan Love going as pick number 6 to the LA Chargers. We all know that didn't happen. Okay, so he said he was a first-round draft choice. I'm only going by our lads, saying that Jordan Love is athletic and he's a project. And it goes on to talk about in the comparisons of Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert as the top quarterbacks to go. Jordan Love, a late first round, early second round choice at best. The ball velocity is very high, but reads and athleticism aren't necessarily matching up. His athleticism to get out the outside and move and throw on the run is solid. The knowledge to be able to decipher defenses and look downfield and deliver the ball the second before the play actually opens is skeptical. It talks about basically his knowledge of the game. He just doesn't react quickly enough. And it goes on from there and talks about his speed and all that kind of stuff and the ability to deliver the ball on the outside, throwing motion, footwork. He is a project. And again, it says late first round, second round choice at best. They had him mock draft wise, low second round. Okay. 877-867-1670. Find us. Josh says, I would usually say 3 years is kind of a long time to develop, but with the COVID situation, he pretty much has lost a year, so this is kind of his rookie season to me. No. The only thing he lost was snaps under center in the preseason. That's it. He was still in those quarterback rooms. He was still learning behind Aaron Rodgers. He was still there on game day. He's listening to the game plan. He's listening to the play calls. He did take some reps. Gary, who is the consummate get rid of Rodgers guy, says I'm out there for putting it all on Love. He'll have a very good team around him. Go for it. Baker Mayfield has gotten better every year. Are you comparing his ability to Baker Mayfield's? Baker Mayfield considered to be the best quarterback coming out at the time. Jordan Love wouldn't even have been the best quarterback coming out this year. Jacob says, I think the whole Aaron Rodgers saga kind of a hoax. I think it's just media making up more and more drama to make a story. And I heard when Adam Schefter reported the initial report that he said he didn't really have any sources to go on. This is what I am hearing lately is true or not. What are your thoughts? It is a hoax or some of this saga is true. Again, Jacob, go right to the horse's mouth. Go to Aaron Rodgers. Go to the Packers. Go to the 49ers. Everybody's talked about it and confirmed it. Nobody's denied it. John Kuhn says this is salvageable. James Jones says it's salvageable. They did not come out and say, none of this is true. The only thing they've said is Aaron hasn't said it. But Aaron Rodgers, when he spoke specifically to Mike Tirico, said he didn't deny it. He said it's disappointing it got out. People are so hell-bent at shooting the messengers. Put it this way. Let me ask you this, Jacob. If everything's a hoax, why haven't the Packers restructured Aaron Rodgers' deal? Why hasn't Aaron Rodgers come out and said, no, this is all crap? Why haven't the Packers said, no, there's nothing to this? All they've said is, we're not trading Aaron Rodgers. Right? We're not getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. And they've said, we'll wait it out. Now, if that isn't confirmation that there's something going on, what do you want them to say? It's like the only reason you don't want to believe it is because it's your team and your guy. Everything else is believable. It's kind of like when somebody says, I'm not doing it without the video. Tell me your sources, then I'll believe you. No, it doesn't work that way. Sources are sources because they don't want to come out and say it, but they give you the information for the knowledge. Everybody does it. Kinger says, but James Jones and John Kuhn work for the media now, so case in point. Is that what we're going to go? Is that where we're going now? That anybody that's in the media can't break a story? Is that what this is? Do you understand the deniability factor that you're going through right now? This is kind of like a death. You're in denial. You're in denial. You don't want to believe it because it's your guy and your team. That's fine. That's fine. But to go around and tell people that their ability and demean what it is they do, I'm not talking about just me. I'm talking about like Adam Shefter. Adam Schefter's broken more stories and been right. Do you write to Adam Shefter and put his name out there and say, Adam Shefter had it, he was right? Man, congratulations on that. No. We're a land of Twitter muscles and bitchers and whiners. That's what we are. If you agree with it, you stay silent until you want to point the finger and say, aha, you're wrong. I don't want. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Eight 877-867-1670. Gary, I'm not even taking you anymore because you are a Rodgers hater. You want him out of here. You've wanted him out of here forever. You want your word to be the right word. You are sinking all of your emotion into Jordan Love, and that's fine. You know better than everybody. Jordan Love is a god. And when they hoist the Super Bowl trophy with Jordan Love's hand under it, you will then be able to point your finger at everybody and say everybody was wrong but you. So enjoy that. Because from here on out, no matter what happens in the Jordan Love era, it's going to be somebody else's fault. Darren says, no question that there are issues between the A-Rod and the Packers. No hoax here. Otherwise, things would have been cleared up by now. That's what I've been saying for quite some time. If there wasn't any issues, don't you think he would have gone on Pat McAfee's show to say, no, there's not? I mean, even A.J. Hawk has said that this is fixable. He doesn't believe it's that bad, but he didn't deny any of it. The only thing he said was he doesn't think that Aaron is looking to get Brian Gutekunst fired. He said that's not Aaron. That's not what Aaron's doing. That's the only thing he stated. Everything else. And as far as the Jerry Krause stuff goes, who cares? Who cares? It gives you an insight into maybe what Aaron's thinking, but this kind of stuff goes on all the time. There were guys in that locker room back when Mike McCarthy was here that used to do impersonations of Mike that weren't flattering. It was, you look back on it, you think, you know what? You begin to see the erosion of respect. It wasn't done in that loving fashion. And you know what I'm talking about. There's guys that can all laugh, including the coach. You can do it in front of the coach and kind of act like the coach, in that fashion. But when you do it where others are laughing at them rather than with them, you know what I mean? You just know. You know the difference. It's kind of like when the Supreme Court said, we can't give you the definition of pornography, but we know it when we see it. It's kind of like that. It goes on in every locker room. And so it becomes a sensational story because of the timing of it and what else is going on and what we know and what we've heard. But I'm not going to say that is like this dagger through the heart or through the job of Brian Gutekunst, because locker room talk is locker room talk. 877-867-1670. Good stuff today, by the way. A lot of people with a lot of good insight. I like it. I do. Stephanie says, how about my Brewers? What is going on with them right now? What is the problem? It doesn't seem like Craig Counsell is pushing all the right buttons. Well, boy, that's a deep question. You can say you've had a couple of pitching performances that were wasted. The offense is still the offense. There's nothing new here, right? Because the offense is still one of the worst in baseball. But if you would have said For a period of time, you would have been without Lorenzo Cain. You would have been without Christian Yelich, without Colton Wong. Keston Hiura would be struggling so bad that he would be sent down. And yet, you're only, a game back? I would have looked at it as probably a pretty big positive, right? And not this, detrimental negative. So, I mean, the pitching staff is still extremely solid. The Brewers right now, they've been in a bit of a funk. They just couldn't get that extra base hit, that extra knock that was going to drive in either that game tire or winner. They're looking to snap that 5-game losing streak tonight. It's the longest losing streak, by the way, since dropping 5 straight from June 17th to June 21st of 2019. And the team has not lost 6 games in a row since July 11th through July 20th of 2018. How about that? It's been a while since we've seen them mired into this kind of a losing streak. They've been able to bounce back. And again, it's not that Craig Counsell's not pushing all the right buttons. It's just, I just never expected them to be this porous when it comes to team batting average. I mean, I think we can just kind of look at it and go, you know what? They're 4th worst in baseball, hitting only .217 as a team. The only teams that are worse than them are the Mariners, Tigers, and Indians. That's it. And when it comes to team OPS, which is, what some people would rather use, they are 5th worst in baseball. The Orioles, Pirates, Mariners, and Tigers are all behind them. So right now they're struggling. Offense has not gotten better. They're not hitting home runs at any kind of a prolific rate. Although their home run total is better. They're right in the middle. They're right in the middle of the league. But still, when you talk about batting average and RBIs and such, they're not getting it done as consistently as you would hope. When it comes to actually driving in runs, the Brewers in the bottom half of the league. So right now it's the offense. Pitching's been pretty good. Defense, they had a couple errors the other night, but for the most part, it's been pretty solid. But it's just key hits. It's it's been with runners in scoring position that has been rather porous. I don't know how else to put it. So 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. When it comes to hitting with runners in scoring position, they are 20th. Team batting average of .220. Give us a shout. Let's do this. We'll step away, take a quick break. When we come back, don't forget, coming up in about about half an hour, we're going to talk with Todd Campbell. He is the general manager of the Four Seasons Island Resort. We're going to talk with him not only about the Four Seasons and our upcoming broadcast there a week from today, but we're also going to talk with him about the golf season and not only, in his backyard, but also Timberstone, which is the championship golf course in the UP, and just golf in general and the impact that one particular person has on the world of golf. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. The Bill Michaels Show continues on, and we've been talking about this for a while. We are going to have a gathering. And I'll tell you what, I have been so impressed, and thank you to so many of you who have who listen to the program, who have also come out and signed up for the meet and greet that we're going to do and the tailgate party that we're going to do at Road America. Man, I am unbelievably humbled, I guess is the best way to put it. I didn't think there were that many people listening, to be honest with you. So the IndyCar series coming to Road America, and we want to bring you there. We are going to be broadcasting live on that Friday. So it comes to town on the 17th. They start running time trials and stuff on the 18th. The 18th is going to be, June 18th is going to be our show live from Road America. And then we're going to stay the rest of the weekend. But what we want to do is we want to do a big gathering, kind of kicking off the new network, if you will, and saying hello to so many of you. And we're going to get into many different areas with the cigar dinners and all that kind of stuff. But this was going to be our big gathering event. So we wanted to see how many people we could bring. And the idea was presented between ourselves and Road America and also Quick Trip. And they got together and said, hey, let's take people from every market we're in and bring them to Road America for a gathering. So that's what we're doing. The NTT IndyCar Series Rev Group Grand Prix presented by AMR takes to the Road America course June 17th through the 20th. We're going to be there. and we want to bring you with us. It's that simple. We want to bring you with us, okay? So listen up. Go to thebillmichaels.com. Appreciate it. The Bill Michaels, Michaels, thebillmichaels.com. Right now, you can register to win, and this is what we're going to give you, okay? So it's not just you, because we don't want everybody to come alone and put name tags on. Hi, I'm such and such. So we want to set you up. We're going to give you tickets. We're going to give you a campsite, and we are going to throw a tailgate party for you and 5 of your friends. So 6 total tickets, packages, all that stuff in one package. We're giving away packages to all of our affiliates. So if you live in Shawano or Clintonville or Menominee, Marinette, Rice Lake, Marshfield, Wausau, Viroqua, Eau Claire, who am I missing? Madison, our flagship station out of Madison, La Crosse, Platteville, all of it. We want you to come with us. So when you go to the website, it'll ask you, where are you listening? Just click on where you're listening. We want to set you up with tickets, tailgate party, the whole thing. And we're going to down some brats, some ribs on a stick from Robert's Specialty. We're going to get all from our great Quick Trip, who are also now the official fuel provider of the Big Unit Cruiser, which the Big Unit Cruiser, we got to say thanks to our friends at Cunis RV, which Cunis RV is all over the state now. They have got buying power in both new and used RVs, tow behinds, and last year was huge because of CDC guidelines and social distancing. So what better way to socially distance yourself than to just go camping, out into the wilderness. So then they're great people, unbelievable people to work with. They stepped to the forefront. And they said, we'll do this. We want to be a part of this. So they're with us. It's going to be a great time. The NTT IndyCar Series, the Rev Group Grand Prix presented by AMR, June 17th through the 20th. So a little bit over a month, like 5 weeks from today, I think is what it is, actually. 5 weeks from today. And we're going to be there. Get complete details and enter for your chance to win right now. Go to thebillmichaels.com. There's tickets, camping, tailgating with us, a free tailgate party. We're going to throw the whole thing. And the best part is if you're camping there, you don't have to worry about driving or anything like that. We're going to get up in the morning. We're going to enjoy the tailgate party, watch some great racing, and then go home. It's going to be a fun time. From Quick Trip, Cunis RV, Road America, and yours truly, the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. Looking forward to it. Really, really looking forward to it. Let's see here. It's from Jacobson. I think all considering the Brewers are doing pretty well overall to still be only a game out of the division with all of the injuries that we have had. It's really impressive. And just think how good we can be when we're all healthy and everything is going well again. I know they've been struggling, but I do believe they're going to snap out of the funk and are in and will win this series against the Marlins. Jason says, hey, Bill, 105.1 in Cadett. 105.1, our great affiliate out of Eau Claire, by the way. Sports Talk right there, WAYY. He said, too early to get worried about the Brewers' long season. They do need to trade for a hitter, though. On the Aaron Rodgers front, great player. However, the Packers are going to be around for a long time after he's retired. So move on and get something for him for the future. Thanks. That's from Jason. Jason, appreciate it. Appreciate it. 877-867-1670. Jim says, I think the way the Brewers are going right now, this is just a bump in the road. Marv says the other problem was giving up 4, 5, and 6 runs in the first inning and 3 grand slams in a week. Well, yeah, but 2 of them are in one game by one guy. This is from Althea, who says, still a lot of faith in my Milwaukee Brewers. Wait till Yelich comes back. If he's hitting, he can give this team a real boost. What are we going to do about Keston Hiura if he comes back and still does not hit? If he still doesn't hit, then, that's a great question, because it's not like you're going to put him at first base as some massively defensive, staunch prowess. You know what I mean? And if he's not hitting, what do you do? Galvin says, be nice to see the Brewers bounce back tonight after the sweep against the Phillies. Absolutely. And because Christopher says, I want to see the Brewers score 10 and just bust out of this. that'd be great, but I want to see the Brewers. If they score 10, then tomorrow I want to see them score 5 or 6. The key is 4.2 runs per game on average. When you start averaging that is when you start winning a lot of ball games. 4 runs seems to be the high water mark for the most part. You're going to win a lot of games if you score 4 runs or more with the pitching staff they have. And they'll be right back in the thick of things. But the key right now is just to win series. Don't worry about getting on some kind of a crazy win streak or anything like that. Just win series. Tonight, who you got on the hill tonight? I mentioned it earlier. Brent Suter, I think. Yeah, Brent Suter. 13th start of the season and first start. Suter last pitched on Wednesday at Philly. Tossed a perfect 7th inning. He earned wins going back to April 21st at San Diego and April 24th at Chicago. His loss came on April 13th against the Cubs, and his only career loss as a reliever, by the way. And opponents are batting only .238 against him. So there you go. 877-867-1670. Traveler Dave. Good to hear from you, man. I haven't heard from you, Traveler Dave, in a while. Traveler Dave listens to us every day in Johnson Creek, drives an over the road. Said, great to have you back on YouTube. I watch it in the truck all the time, albeit I can't watch while I'm driving, but I do listen, love the commentary. Everybody's overreacting regarding Aaron Rodgers. I love the fact that there's information out there that nobody wants to believe. I think Aaron Rodgers is still going to end up in Green Bay, although I'm like you. My gut's telling me that he may end up getting traded away if he refuses to talk to anybody or come back. I wish we could just hear from him so he could ease the fans' anxiety. That's from Traveler Dave, heading now out to Denver, Colorado, he says. Got a load of corn heading to Denver, Colorado. And now, does a load of corn travel that far? Or are you taking like corn? Are you talking like canned corn? You know, if you're taking a bunch of canned corn out to the grocery stores in Denver, that's one thing. But if you're just taking a big old haul of corn, they need corn in Denver? They don't grow their own out there. There you have it, Traveler Dave. You're right. I think and I had said this yesterday when I started the show by giving you the conspiracy theory. When you think about this, if Aaron Rodgers, if all this comes out, right? All this comes out. And Aaron Rodgers is sitting back there kind of rocking in the rocking chair, sitting on the deck overlooking the Pacific Ocean in the Malibu beach house. I want to say the Malibu Barbie beach house, but which is tempting, but I don't. And he says, okay, all this is leaked out. Fans are getting mad. People are pissed at me. Okay, now what if I turn around and say, you know what? I'm good. Look, for the fans, for the people who believed in me from the beginning, from the organization that chose me when others were passing on me. I don't need to be the highest paid player. I just want to be respected. I need to come back and finish my legacy strong in Green Bay. Don't give me the beautiful mystery stuff. Don't give me the it's out of my hands stuff. Don't do that. Just say, I'm coming back because you, and look right in the camera and say, you, the fans, have been so good to me. I got to come back for you. I want to play for my teammates. They're great guys. And then go through the list of guys that are close to you, David and Devontae and Marquez or whatever. I mean, Quez, whatever. Go through the list. And Coach and I are on the same page. We really, have accomplished some spectacular things. We've just been a game shy. Now let's go win this thing. Let's go win this thing. I want not 1, but 2 more championships at least. But I'm coming. He would come into Green Bay. He would not even into Green Bay. He would come into Wisconsin as his plane was flying from the West Coast to Wisconsin. He could land at the border and then walk on water to Lambeau Field. That would be what kind of a godlike complex he would have from the fans at that point. So for me, being a realist, I think, again, 1.5 feet out the door. That 0.5 foot gives me hope. The 0.5 foot, does that come from being a fan, being a hopeful person? I'm a fan, and I want to see Aaron Rodgers stay here. I'm a fan because I think he gives the Packers the best chance to win. I'm a fan because I like the guy. For all the things that are said, petulance and diva and smart and all that crap, and he and I have not talked in almost a year and a half, 2 years. Not even in passing. But I like the guy. There's something about him I like. Okay? And it doesn't mean that, I have to start drinking 2 fingers of scotch or anything like that. It just means there's something about the guy I like. So, but also for me, for my business, for sitting here behind a microphone every day and talking about a successful winning franchise and the stories that go with it, it's great for so many reasons. I want to see Aaron Rodgers stay here for so many reasons. So it's not like we're sitting here trying to just put nails in the coffin and get him out of town. This guy's a diva. Get his ass out the door. No, nay. Just the opposite. Just the opposite. So I'd love to see him stay. I'm like many of you. I'd love to see him stay. Nintendo Prime says it's possible, Bill, that people can look at the totality of the situation. Packers say we are not trading him. We are committed to Rodgers next year and beyond. Only person from Rodgers camp to talk was John Kuhn, and don't forget James Jones. Say he talks to Rodgers, and he sees all of this kind of getting fixed. And then Shefter letting the world know that he has no team sources, no sources from Rodgers camp, just a bunch of outside people chatting. Then drawing correlations because tension exists. It's one of those, we have our own eyes and ears. We can see Adam jump the gun. But remember, his agent is also the agency that handles Rodgers. I don't think Adam jumped the gun. I think he jumped on to something that broke. When San Francisco picked up the phone and made the offer, and Rodgers said, let's do it. It shifted from the Packers don't want to trade Aaron Rodgers away to Aaron Rodgers, his camp said, yeah, let's do this. Aaron will go to San Francisco. That's what raised the red flags. And none of that has been denied. None of it. Maybe it will be. Maybe Aaron can come out and say, all of this is crap. Wink and a nod. And then say, I'm coming back. Great. It puts it all to bed. It doesn't make anybody less right or wrong. I don't think, again, Shefter never said that I didn't talk to anybody. He said it was people that I've talked to over time. What he said was there was no source that day. He made an assumption from what he heard that Rodgers didn't want to come back because Rodgers camp okayed the deal to go to San Francisco. The Packers didn't make the trade, which makes the trade offer a moot point. Because now the speculation goes from, why did the Packers turn down the trade? Because they want to commit to Aaron Rodgers. Well, if that's the case, then why have they not restructured the contract, given him the extension, and brought him in? So you start to go and knock down the dominoes. You know what I mean? Eight 877-867-1670. Again, that's fine. Believe what you want to believe. That's fine. And like I said, my hope, my heart is that Aaron Rodgers comes back and all this just goes away. Because then we can get on the subject of football. And Alex says, have we talked at all about the draft choices? We can. I mean, I've already gone through them. And gone through each one. But again, some of the guys we've seen, some of the guys we haven't. I can read you their analytics at best, but I can't give you the definitives on every guy to say, I like the Stokes pick. I really do. I like the Stokes pick. I like that pick. When you look at, the others that the Packers picked up, I like Josh Myers out of Ohio State as a center. And I do like the Amari Rodgers pick, the wide receiver from Clemson. Beyond that, I do like Slayton out of Florida. I don't know a lot about him, though. When I started making calls, some people said, yeah, really good guy. He'll be a real good compliment to Kenny Clark. I'm like, okay, I'm on board. But I can't sit here today and go, I've watched every one of these guys play and I know everything about it. I don't. I can only tell you what I've read. That's it. 877-867-1670. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show is next.
Ready? This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
How we looking? Bill Michaels here for the Four Seasons Island Resort in Pembine, Wisconsin. And I've got to tell you, when I want to get away for a long weekend, I head to the Four Seasons Island Resort. It's Northeast Wisconsin's best-kept secret, and the amenities include a 9-hole golf course, indoor saltwater swimming pool, sauna, whirlpool, tennis courts, basketball, horseshoe pits, volleyball, and when you're hungry, choose from the Boundary Water Sports Bar and Grill, Lily's Ice Cream Parlor, or fine dining in the dining room. How about all of that? Those are wide open tours as well. It's tucked into the north woods of Wisconsin. Seasons Island Resort is located on the Muscano Island and surrounded by the beautiful Menominee River, which divides Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. An island you can actually drive to. How about that? It's simply gorgeous there. Whether it's a romantic weekend for two, a golf weekend with the boys, or an adventure weekend for the entire family, Four Seasons Island Resort is a place to go. Book your getaway today at thefourseasonswi.com. That's thefourseasons, FOURWI.com, and make sure you tell them Bill Michaels sent you.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program. We will get back to the Aaron Rodgers story as bogus stuff. And for those of you who just, for whatever reason, want to bury your head in the sand, I guess, we'll get back into all of that coming up here in just a little bit. We want to go north. And for our first segment, we're going to do these on Fridays and talk a little golf, and not only just in the state of Wisconsin, but in general. But joining us now, Todd Campbell, the GM over there at the Four Seasons Island Resort. I talk about it all the time on the program. Todd, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Bill. How are you, sir?
We are doing extremely well. Looking forward to the broadcast up there next Friday. So one of the things that we've been promoting is the fact that you guys are getting ready to go 7 days a week now, right?
We are. Yep. A week from today, we kick off the summer season. We're pretty excited about it.
So, first of all, for those that want to, because there's golfers all over the state of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin, for those outside of the area, many people don't realize that this is one of the really good golfing states in the United States, just for the fact that we have so many wonderful golf courses. But you have the Island course up there around the Four Seasons and Timberstone as well. Let's start with the Island course first, because it'll be open and it's ready to go, and people can make tee times right now, right?
It is. We opened it up in early April. I think it was like April 9th. I believe that was the day. With such a dry winter up here, the course dries really well. It's really sand-based. So we opened the golf course up. It's open every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is when we're open. And then starting May 14th, it'll be 7 days a week. So we're getting quite a bit of play. The course came through the winter great shape. The grounds crew has it looking wonderful, and a lot of people are out there having a good time.
And one of the best courses, I mean, obviously we've got truly championship courses with Erin Hills and Whistling Straits and all that kind of stuff, but Timberstone is tucked into the mountain up there in the UP, and that's a fantastic championship course as well, right?
It is. It's pretty interesting. Golf Magazine just came out with their top 100 golf courses in the country, top public 100 golf courses, and California leads it, and then Oregon, and then Michigan and Wisconsin are both tied with 6 courses in the top 100. So it shows just how great a golf the Midwest has to offer. Timberstone doesn't fit that bill as one of the top 6 in the States, but it's usually in the top 10, top 15 in the state of Michigan. It's a great golf course. Jerry Matthews design, really pretty with the undulations of the hill that it's on. People love going up north. They love playing through the woods. You see all abundance of different wildlife, from deer and turkeys and occasional bear and bald eagles. And, it's just a great setting. It's a great golf experience.
Yeah, it's a little different from playing in Florida to see the occasional alligator when you got a bear and a bald eagle floating around.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
for sure.
I wanted to ask you, because you've been around golf a long, long time, this season specifically without Tiger. Now, we've seen this before, but with the ominous feeling that Tiger may not even be able to really come back from something like this, what does this do to golf, the coverage of golf, the witnessing of golf? What does this do to the sport itself when you have that level of superstar not able to participate?
I mean, I think it's a huge blow, Bill. I'm in my late 40s. I watched Tiger through his whole career, and what he did for the PGA, what he did for the game of golf. I've been a PGA member for over 25 years, and what he did for the game of golf was, he made golf cool. He brought really good athletes that typically didn't play the sport into the sport because, he was just a great, phenomenal athlete. So losing him, doesn't help the PGA Tour by any means. Hopefully he can come back. Time will tell. But the tour is so strong. I mean, it's worldwide. We got great players from every continent in the world. The U.S. has got some great players. The PGA does a nice job of marketing these guys. They're playing for so much money out there. The equipment's never been better. Technology's never been better. So it's a big blow, but the PGA Tour is going to continue to roll along, and there'll be some other superstar that'll all, take our breath away at some point, maybe not the way Tiger did, but there's so much talent out there. It's ridiculous. I mean, look at Mickelson yesterday. He shot 64. Unbelievable.
Right. Yeah, it's every week it's somebody different. And the cool thing about it, I've said this before with golf as opposed to any other game, you can't go to Miller Park or American Family Field and hit a home run. You can't go catch touchdown passes at Lambeau, but you can make a spectacular shot on a course or courses that the pros have played, and something that maybe even the pros couldn't do as well as you just did it, where you can conquer the course maybe better than what they could. So I think that's the reason there's such an appeal for golf. Real quick, what you guys got going on up there as far as stay and play packages?
So we're pretty excited. Today is the day we opened up Timberstone. So Timberstone Golf Course opened up for the season today. We got some golfers out there. Unfortunately, Mother Nature's not helping us much today. But we've got some great stay and play packages at Timberstone. You can kind of customize your package. If you want to stay one night and play one round, you can. One night, 2 rounds. A lot of different options. So feel free to give Timberstone or Pine Mountain Resort a call. I should know their number, and I don't have it in front of me. I'll get it here in a minute. And then at Four Seasons, Four Seasons is a 9-hole golf course, but we get a ton of stay and play packages. It's not a course that's going to beat you up. It's fun. People will just kind of buzz around at their leisure. The pace of play is always really good. So we have a lot of just interesting stay and play packages here. A lot of people just stay with us and bring their clubs, and they just decide to play if the weather works out or they have it in their time frame to do so. So if you're interested in stay and play at Four Seasons, our website is thefourseasonswi.com, and our number is 715-324-5800. And then Timberstone, if you're interested in learning more about that golf course, the website is pinemountainresort.com, and their direct line is 906-774-2747, Bill.
Todd, always a pleasure. Next week, I'll bring some extra money with me because Kristen, it's going to be the first time she's ever played golf, and I'm sure we're going to have some landscape fees we're going to have to probably pay you by the time it's all said and done. But nevertheless, we're really looking forward to staying up there in the broadcast next Friday.
So are we, Bill. You guys have a great weekend, and thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. There you go, Todd Campbell. He is the general manager up there at the Four Seasons Island Resort, also with Pine Mountain Resort. Both places fantastic for golf and stay and play packages and fun and beverages, and just stay right there on the property and enjoy yourself. And I've been telling you about this for a long time. Now I just wanted to get Todd on so we could talk about it. We're going to start doing this thing on a weekly basis, but thanks to him for joining us for a couple of minutes. Let's do this. We'll step away. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up. We'll get into all the discussion. We'll get into all your reaction, and yet another story has just hit the wire. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back, Bill Michaels Show. We continue on. Hey, our good friends, we just talked about the Four Seasons Island Resort, and going to be up there next Friday, don't forget, for the broadcast. Looking forward to that. But our good friends at New Mel Medical Center bring you this segment of the program, and they are the original at treating guys with ED, the original. Others have come along, but all you got to do is call them, 414-455-4451, whether you're in Milwaukee, Green Bay, Madison, whatever it happens to be. Locations all over the state of Wisconsin. Again, 414-455-4451. And whether it's helping guys with ED, which they have a 98% success rate at treating, by the way, erectile dysfunction. Or let's just say you don't need help with that because you could be a construction worker pounding 4-inch nails through a 2x4 and not even using a hammer. Let's just say you don't need that kind of help, right? Well, maybe you need the all-in-one weight loss program. That works. I'm living proof of that. What about, say, low T treatments? And if you're feeling tired all the time or you're sluggish or maybe about 10:30, 11 o'clock every day, you're just ready to go face first into your computer because you're so tired. You get done working at 3 or 4 and you're just dragging and you can't have the same, you can't figure out why you don't have energy anymore. They can help you out. It works. Just call my guys over at New Mel Medical Center, 414-455-4451, 414-455-4451. Give them a shout. Over in the Journal Sentinel, just came out. Published about 20 minutes ago. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers should not be to this point. The 16-year marriage between the two and one of the greatest quarterbacks in history, by the way, dangles by a thread. Rodgers unhappy and wanting out per multiple reports. Don't forget, it's not just Adam Shefter. It's Ian Rappaport. It is also Tom Pelissaro, the NFL Network. You've got the NBC Network as well. Mike Tirico confirming. This is not just Adam Shefter. And then the Packers, it's all teetering right now with general manager Brian Gutekunst in danger of committing one of the most egregious displays of mismanagement in sports since Jerry Krause broke up Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. All good things come to an end. A few legendary sports figures managed to spend their entire career with one team, but a bitter end is completely unnecessary here. Packers officials could have completely avoided this drama by applying one of the most basic talents and tenets of a relationship, communication. Period. That's what all this boils down to. The failure on the part of the Green Bay Packers to communicate with the face of their franchise entering the 2020 draft. A simple phone call to Rodgers in advance of the first-round selection could have avoided all of this. It goes on from there. But instead, Gutekunst surprised everybody when he made the love pick. Rodgers learned the organization had led to a Super Bowl and 10 playoff appearances in 13th season. He found out about it like everybody else on TV and after the fact. Any frustration and bewilderment on Rodgers' part was completely understandable, not because teams don't draft rookies with veterans in place, but Packers brass lacked the professionalism and courtesy and respect for Rodgers to give him at least a heads up. It goes on from there. Despite the slight, Rodgers used the Love selection as motivation. He orchestrated one of the best seasons of his career. It was clear that even last year's success and the improvement comfort with head coach Matt LaFleur set Rodgers at ease. Asked about his future, he said, "That's outside of my control," called it the beautiful mystery. An offseason ensued. Rodgers' frustrations persisted. That's why the Packers officials made their second mistake. Gutekunst should have known mishandling of the 2020 draft. If he didn't, team president and chief executive officer Mark Murphy should have seen to it that he did. And on the day after the NFC Championship game lost, the Packers should have approached Rodgers right then and there in his camp about a contract which had 3 seasons left on it, but no remaining guaranteed money. Reworking the contract to include guaranteed money over the life of the deal as a thank you would have made an atonement for all of this. They didn't do that. It goes on from there. It goes on from there. All of this is the Journal Sentinel making it all up too? Is everybody else lying? (877-867-1670). If you want to hit me up, do so. If any of you that are just hating over on Twitter have the balls to do it. More of the Bill Michaels Show next.
Through the 10th, those are the first dates for the team's offseason that Aaron Rodgers is required to attend or he can be fined. Rodgers has not addressed the reports of the last week that indicate he does not want to return to the Packers due to differences with the front office. If he doesn't show up, it means a lot more work for Jordan Love, the second-year quarterback that Green Bay moved up in the first round to take last year. Coach Matt LaFleur says it'll be important for Love to focus on himself, not worry about what's going on with Rodgers.
I've talked to Jordan, and I told him there's a lot of noise out there. You can't focus on that. You got to focus on yourself, and I know you guys think it's cliche, but he's got to be the best version of him, and he's got to do everything in his power to make sure he knows the expectations, the standards which we've developed at that position. You know, I know he's working hard.
GM Brian Gutekunst said last week Packers likely to bring in another quarterback or two this offseason.
Want to save even more at Fleet Farm? Well, now you can with Fleet Rewards. It's free to sign up, and there's no credit card required. Using Fleet Rewards is easy. Earn points every time you shop. Plus, get exclusive member offers, birthday and anniversary perks, free tire rotations, and more. Download the Fleet Farm app or create an account at fleetfarm.com/rewards to start earning points today. Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Well, the Brewers have lost 5 straight. That's after a 2-0 loss in Philadelphia yesterday afternoon, allowing the Phillies to finish off a 4-game sweep. Milwaukee could get nothing going against Zach Wheeler, who pitched a complete game. Brandon Woodruff struck out a season-high 11 for the Brewers. Milwaukee going to be in Miami tonight to open a series against the Marlins. And the Bucks back in action tonight against Houston. With the win, they could move into a tie with Brooklyn for the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. If they end up tied at the end of the year, Milwaukee owns the tiebreaker. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heil.
Welcome back. The Bill Michaels Show continues on. Oh, my God. Some of you are just so frustrated. You know how it is when you got a kid and you tell your kid something and then he comes home and mom has said it, dad has said it, his friends have said it, brother and sister have said it, but he's got a teacher or something that goes, well, and then he'll come home and go, nah, teacher said this. And you're like, but I'm telling you right here, this is the fact. Mom has it. brother and sister, they're telling you too. Your friends, they're all telling you the same thing. And the teacher kind of knows but doesn't know and doesn't want to be specific, and you're taking the one word of the person that you don't want to believe to kind of use as a fact. That's kind of what you're dealing with some of the I don't even know if they're Packers fans or what. I don't even know. Couldn't tell you. It's mind numbing. Tom Pelissaro, Ian Rappaport, NBC, Mike Tirico, Peter King. Everybody's had all the details to this. Everybody's focusing on what Adam Shefter said yesterday. Adam Shefter, again, has broken a lot of stories. He is a smart individual. He puts 2 and 2 together every day, knows where to go, knows who to call. I don't sit here and defend the 4-letter network easily. It just doesn't. He never lied. Just stop. I'm you know what I do? And once I get to this point, I start blocking people. There's one of the most satisfying things in the world is when people want to keep coming at you and keep coming at you and keep coming at you, and they won't listen to what it is you're saying, and they want you to say something that's not there just so they can go, aha! There is nothing more satisfying than going, click, block, and you're gone. I never, ever, ever hear from you again. Ever. That's what I get to. Nobody is taking issue with Adam Shefter other than the fact that he says, I don't have a specific source, but we all know what it is. I'm telling you what it is. His agent is the same agent and agency as Aaron Rodgers. He's not throwing his own agent under the bus. He can't, because it creates a rift in his own agency. The agency doesn't want to lose Aaron Rodgers and other stars as to, quote, speaking out of school. He's backtracking to kind of cover what's there. You just got to know it. I feel like some people just, I don't know what to say. You're not listening. You're just angry to respond. Yeah, but point the finger. It's like talking to you know what it's like talking to? It's like being on the Jerry Springer show. And I don't even know what to compare it to. I can't compare it to people coming out of a trailer park because that would be offending people in trailer parks. It's just like the lowest common denominator waiting for the test results as to whether or not they are the baby daddy or not. And then regardless of the answer, they're like, no. And then they go running across the stage and want to throw a chair at you. That's what it's dealing with. Again, the Journal Sentinel has it too. Read the Journal Sentinel article. Everybody's lying but you. Everybody knows nothing. The whole world just walks. How do we survive as a society? You and I, how do you and I wake up every day as intellectual individuals? You probably more intellectual than me. Okay, I'm not going to put myself anywhere ahead of you because so many of you out there are so much smarter than I am. How do we wake up every day and tie our shoes without tripping and killing ourselves? You know, how do we get by without those that are so knowledgeable and sarcastic and so condescending, who are so far above everybody else? How do we get by without those people every day? You know? There you go. Just thought I'd throw it out there. I've always wondered that. Oh, Mark, welcome to the program. Glad to have you today. Mark writes in the email inbox. He says, hey, Bill, I see on Twitter you have to deal with a lot of idiots. Some people just don't want to listen and don't want to hear, or he's got in parentheses, read what you have to say. They completely ignore it, and they just want you to acknowledge them just so they can continue to troll others. Don't acknowledge the trolls. He says, Brewers get a win today. Book it. They need to end the losing streak. I think Christian Yelich is the linchpin to this season. If he is down for the rest of the year with his back issue, then I don't see them winning a championship. If he comes back and begins to hit the ball the way he did in the first 2 at-bats he had after coming off of the IL, I think we got a legitimate shot. Christian Yelich is the answer. He's part of the answer. In baseball, it's not just one guy. I mean, you need good pitching. You need guys to come up clutch. Brewers right now batting 21st in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position, and about the same with 2 outs. They actually hit a little bit better when there's 2 outs and runners in scoring position. But the point being is they're not a great team when they put people on, and they're not great with putting people on to begin with. It is few and far between. So, yeah, it's a team right now that offensively is inept. It's a team that is inept. So when it comes to team batting average, believe it or not, where they're going tonight to face the Marlins have the best team batting average in all of baseball. But team batting average and the best OPS in all of baseball. In all of baseball. They're not a big powerhouse of a team, though. They're 3rd in baseball when it comes to overall. 877-867-1670. I take that back. They're the best in baseball with runners in scoring position. I gave you the wrong statistic. I apologize. The Boston Red Sox are the best offensive team in baseball. The Red Sox are. The Miami Marlins are actually a little bit lower than that. Well, a little bit lower. They're not that far above the Brewers, as a matter of fact, when it comes to team overall batting average. But they're really good when they get people on base. They are a really good team at hitting with runners in scoring position. So I completely wipe out everything I said. I apologize. But go back to it and say the best team when they have runners in scoring position is, then you can insert the words Miami Marlins. Brent says the trolls are out today. I don't understand why. People just deal with it. There is a contentiousness between Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Aaron is not denying it. No one is denying it except for the trolls. Steve says, don't let the trolls get you down. That's exactly what they are. Just go ahead and block them. Everybody has a troll or two on Twitter or on Facebook that they've needed to say go away. I agree with that. Badger Dave says Adam Schefter started it by saying he had sources. So therefore everybody is now doubting him and everyone else. He really discredited many. Well, he said I don't have the exact verbiage. And I don't even, Rowdy, do we have that? Or Evo, do we have that back in the studio? Adam Schefter on Dan Patrick yesterday by any chance?
I'll have to try and figure it out.
If you got it, great. If not, no big deal. But if I remember correctly, and I listened to it this morning again, I don't think he said I didn't have any sources. I think what he said was I didn't have any sources that day. But he had been talking to sources, if you will, about this for a while. It was the accumulation of information that led him to the assertion after the story came out about the San Francisco 49ers stuff and Aaron Rodgers' camp approving that, or at least saying, yeah, we would be up for that. That's when he said, wait a minute, Aaron Rodgers would not mind leaving Green Bay. It's because of the argumentativeness on both sides when it comes to their inability to reach an agreement.
Yeah, I'll have to pull that up for you.
Yeah, if you find it, great, but no big deal. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. The only thing that's out there that is distinct, and I'm looking at it right now on the 4-letter network, Aaron Rodgers wants out. Okay? Now, I'll say this. Is this where let's just say Aaron Rodgers says, well, we'll see what happens. Because he never said he was coming back. He said it's a beautiful mystery and it's out of his hands. Which we all know is crap, but it is what it is. But with all of this, why then did Brian Gutekunst not say that was never said? He met with Aaron. Why did Matt LaFleur not say that was never said? All these people have been in front of a microphone. All these people. But yet everybody's waiting to just hear from Aaron. All of this has been out there for going on weeks. All of this. So why is it when Gutekunst doesn't deny it, Mark Murphy doesn't deny it, Matt LaFleur doesn't deny it, Rodgers hasn't denied it, John Kuhn hasn't denied it, James Jones hasn't denied it, all these people that have talked to him, Brett Favre hasn't denied it. Brett Favre said he's talked to him. Brett Favre said he never denied it. (877-867-1670). 877-867-1670. Ms. Val says, this whole thing's got my head spinning. I saw your tweet yesterday about your head ready to explode. What do you think is the real reason Aaron doesn't want to come back? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think he wanted to come back. I think it's not one thing. I think it's been the stacking of all of this. I think that at the end of the season, from what I understand, whether he approached them or they approached him, whatever it was, there was a discussion about a contract extension. I have heard 3 to 4 years Rodgers wants. Extend me, increase my pay, all of that stuff. We'll spread it out. We'll make it feasible for the team, the whole thing. Okay? He wanted 3 to 4 more years, which would put him at age 42. Because remember, he said he wanted to play into his 40s, 42, 43, 44. I mean, Tom Brady's 44 right now. And I think Aaron Rodgers is a more mobile, legs under him quarterback than Brady is. So he's probably looking at this and Brady winning a Super Bowl going, I can do this. Just put the right pieces around me. I can do this. So he probably wanted 3, 4, 5 more years. From what I understand, the organization went, we'll give you 1. And he kind of looked at him like, really? You know what? That's when he finally threw his hands up and said, you know what? To hell with you guys. That's my understanding of all of this. So when San Francisco made the call, word gets out of San Fran on Wednesday night. It wasn't like people were waiting with this information to drop it on the draft. And even if they were, who cares? It's the draft. It's a bunch of players who haven't proven a damn thing in the NFL yet. Who cares? Nobody's stealing anybody's night. All the conspiracy theories around that is a giant steaming pantload. Because had the San Francisco story not come out, none of this comes out. None of it. It doesn't come out. (877-867-1670). 877-867-1670. So that's it. That's kind of like where it's at. And everybody else has confirmed this in some way, shape, or form. Everybody else has people they talk to. Hell, Brett Favre, James Jones, John Kuhn have all talked to him. Not one has said, that's not true. They've all said, Brett says he doesn't think Aaron's coming back. James Jones and John Kuhn say, yeah, we think it's repairable. Well, if there's no story there, then what's there to repair? If everybody's talked to him and it's not true, why don't they just say, no, that's not true. He's ready to go. He's coming back. He doesn't have any problem with the organization, doesn't have any problem with Gutekunst, doesn't have any problem with Murphy, doesn't have any problem with LaFleur. He's ready to come back. 877-867-1670. Here's actually what Adam Shefter said.
It was just about a week ago, a couple hours from now, where Adam Shefter came on Sports Center and said basically that Aaron Rodgers wanted out of Green Bay. Walk me through that. Did you get a phone call or text?
You know, Dan, the funny part about it is that I've heard people say, oh, Aaron Rodgers wanted that out before the draft. I can assure you Aaron Rodgers did not want that out before the draft. I've had people say the Green Bay Packers planted that. It was a very pro-Packer story.
Yeah.
I can assure you the Green Bay Packers didn't plant that. When people guess at where stories come from, more often than not, they're usually wrong. And in this case, they're wrong. This was an accumulation all during the offseason of just listening to people talk and observing. And if we go back to the NFC Championship game that the Green Bay Packers lost at home, did we not hear Aaron Rodgers after that game talk about his level of unhappiness, if you will, uncertainty for the future? Just go back and listen to that press conference, and it sounds almost like he's saying goodbye to Green Bay. And so your antenna's up, and I'm just telling you, throughout the course of the offseason, there was rarely a week that went by where I didn't hear something about Aaron Rodgers. And on draft day, there's a report that morning from Paul Allen out in Minneapolis that the 49ers made a draft offer, which they didn't make an offer. They never made an offer. And other people saying that the 49ers called. And I said, how long till it gets out that Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green? Is it next week? Is it next when he doesn't show to the OTAs? Is it next month when he isn't? It's going to come out. What does it matter if it comes out now or next week or next month? And so
you chose to break the news on draft day.
That is absolutely accurate. Correct.
But it wasn't something that you got information about.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, it was something that morning that came in. All of a sudden said to me, yeah, he wants out. You should report this. Like, it was going on all off season. You just keep hearing it. And there was more and more talk. And now there's starting to be Aaron Rodgers talk. And I said, you know what? This isn't going to wait much longer. Let's just go. And it just happened to be draft day.
Because I wondered when you said it didn't come from Rodgers, didn't come from the Packers, and it's being characterized differently. I was wondering, okay, you're not going to tell me your source. You know, what was the motive behind that? Yeah.
Dan, there's not a source.
No, I know, but I know that now, but we're just finding this out right now.
I said this. I said it on NFL Live. I said it. I said it. You know, I mean, I don't know. People want to believe whatever they want to believe. It was just an accumulation of information throughout the course of the entire offseason.
There you go. There wasn't a source on draft day. It was accumulation of information, which means people you've talked to throughout. Now, he throws Paul Allen and basically myself under the bus by saying there wasn't a deal from San Francisco. Yes, there was. Yes, there was. Because he didn't get it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It sounded like to me that they got blindsided by the San Francisco decision or discussion, had to come up with something, so drop that. That's Shefter. But that doesn't throw shade on everybody else that has confirmed everything along the way. And even Shefter, after that, I still give credit to because he had enough, quote, information, meaning sources, that he was able then to say, here you go, this is what's going on. We got scooped on this, but so that's out there. And we didn't get it. So, and we're ESPN, so we got to go in this direction. Here's what it is. He doesn't want to come back. That's the reason they dropped that. They had to be proactive or reactive. That's the reason they dropped that. And since then, again, Tom Pelissero, Ian Rappaport, NBC, Mike Tirico, all these people that are well respected. Then you hear from John Kuhn, James Jones, and Brett Favre. All have talked to Aaron in one way, shape, or form. All say there's a problem. All say that either he isn't or will or could be repaired to come back. Everybody knows it's there. The cat is out of the bag. That's it. 877-867-1670. I hope in some way, shape, or form that clears it up. You can still have your opinion. That's fine. But don't walk around pointing fingers and going, everybody's wrong and I'm the only one right. Not meaning me, meaning you. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. Dan Cilio from the Dan Cilio Show has a show on the USA Radio Networks and a 6 to 9 Pacific time. Former Miami Hurricane. He has reported, and he's getting this also from Mark Schlereth and some people close to the Broncos. He said the Broncos have offered the Packers 3 first-rounders and a second-rounder for Aaron Rodgers. Stay tuned. I just retweeted it. Now, I don't know if that's, again, I take a lot of people at their face, and especially if they got the blue check mark next to their name. They've earned it in some way, shape, or form. Some people are saying it's totally fake. Again, I'm only saying it's from Denver. I'm not saying it's a done deal or anything like that. I'm just retweeting it. So yeah, you act like if you retweet something, like you believe it, like you're sending out propaganda. I love the haters. Love the haters. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Again, I don't think that happens because first of all, I just don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. I don't think that's the deal that would be worked out. I've said, look, I thought Denver would be the front runner. And there's more than a few people that have really been emphatic about that from the very beginning that are in the business. But Michael says, all one big steam and pant load. I hope it's true. Marv says, agreeing to a trade does not mean that he wants out. Two different sections. Yeah, but it also doesn't mean that he's joyous in coming back either. I mean, I guess what some people are listening for is absolute emphatic specificness. Tell me the last time that happened. Right? Judge Schmal's burner account says he, meaning Adam Shefter, said it wasn't sources, but an accumulation of information. Well, what does that mean? That means people he's talked to over a period of time. Right? Let's go to phone calls. Let's talk to Ken listening to us in La Crosse up there on WKTY. Ken, how you doing today, man? What's up?
I'm doing well. My question is that I understand that Aaron Rodgers has been disappointed, and the reason why he's disappointed because they didn't consider him and when they drafted the last quarterback and so forth. And my question is, with the press, was the fact is that when it was announced that he was unhappy, they said that the 49ers had already negotiated they were going to give him a draft pick and also give Garoppolo and other things and all this stuff. And then they got on the GM for San Francisco, and he says that we asked if this was true that they're interested in trading him, and they said, don't go there. No, we're not. So
because
why do they?
Well, for one, if they would have talked to Aaron's people about this, technically that's tampering. But word has it that whether or not John Lynch specifically did it or somebody else, word has it that that was floated to Aaron. Yes. So, but if you float it to the players specifically and their people first, then it's considered tampering, and that's but it goes on all the time. I mean, we find out about deals not necessarily through general managers and teams, but mainly because agents get word as to what's going on. And that's how most of the stories are broken. So usually it comes from within and within, players' representation. I mean, who knows? It could have been somebody like Garoppolo's people finding out about it. That Garoppolo would have been part of that deal. You know what I mean? Who knows? 877-867-1670. That was our buddy Ken in La Crosse. Let's go to Daniel listening to us in Toma. Daniel, how you doing, man? What's up? Daniel once? Twice? Gone. He gone. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Sam tweets us and says, quote, this is an issue that we have been working on for several months. Brian, Matt, and I have flown out a number of occasions to meet with Aaron. We are very much aware of Aaron's concerns, and we have been working with him and his agent to resolve them. That is the quote. That is the quote from, what is that, from Brian Gutekunst, I think? Sam, thank you very much. That is from the Packers. So if none of this was true, then why would they even address it, right? Now, I completely agree with you. I get it. Thank you very much. Like I said, I hope they work it out. I hope Aaron's back. I hope all of this goes away. I really do. and we can get on to the thought of foot. We're going to find out soon. We're going to find out soon, right? Because they've got mini camps and such and mandatory OTAs coming up. And if Aaron's not there, and Aaron doesn't miss this stuff, if Aaron's not there, then we know. Right? (877-867-1670), 877-867-1670. Sean says, this whole saga making a lot of sports journalists I respected lose all credibility. Who? Who has lost all credibility? That's what I want to know. And I guess if you don't want to believe it, don't believe it. That's fine. If you want to pick and choose what information you want to believe, that's fine too. That's fine too. But whenever something breaks via a news story, usually it's retweeted and tweeted out 100,000 times. Any kind of a major story. Right? I can think of two instances in which I take that back. I can think of one specific instance in which something that we heard, meaning the media, was wrong. One specific one, and that was when on draft day there was the rumor that was hot and heavy being floated about that Reggie Bush was coming to Green Bay. That was, and that, even that came from an incredibly reliable source. But that's the one rumor I remember being wrong about the Packers. All the stuff with Favre that nobody wanted to believe, it turned out. All that stuff that was being reported, that all came to fruition. And you know what? There are times that media members are wrong. It happens. You don't hang up your career on it when you're right 95% of the time. Right? And it's not, and here's the other thing. Nobody has said Aaron Rodgers 110% will never again play for the Green Bay Packers. Nobody said that. Which is why I hold out hope that this all works out. I really do. Sounded a little like Bob Uecker there, didn't I? 877-867-1670. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. If you got something to say, bring it. For all the naysayers specifically that are out there, have some cojones, man. Light up the phone line. Come on the program. 877-867-1670. We'll be back right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Better stuff than some comfort food, especially this time. This time with all the, back and forth going on. I'm here to tell you, our friends over at Schulze Family Farms Beef, they want you to kick off the tailgate season in style, whether it's at the ballpark, if you're going to a Brewers game, or you're just going to sit at home in the backyard. They have the brats, 4 flavors: beef, blue cheese, pork, and beer brats. They've got the preformed hamburger patties as well, and skinless hot dogs for the kids, snack sticks, jerky. But if you're a griller, a real serious meat griller, then they have got the steaks and the chops, the fillets, New York strip, prime rib, whatever it happens to be, the roasts, the briskets, ribs, tomahawk ribeyes, by the way. You can smoke it all, you can grill it all. They've got the Fox Smokehouse barbecue sauce, salty provision seasoning. It's all available. You can go right now online and check it all out. SchulzeFamilyBeef.com. That is Schulze, SCHOLZE, SchulzeFamilyBeef.com. Go there. and see everything they have to offer. They've got some terrific packages they can put together for you. You can order it today, have it right there on your doorstep in just a couple of days. And that way you're ready for, your grill outs for the next week or 2 or 3, whatever it happens to be, or you can sign up for a subscription. But if you're out in the area, say the Humbird, Wisconsin area, and you want to stop in the Black River Falls, stop in. They've got a good old-fashioned family farm store, a great place to stop in, and tell them we said hello. They're just tremendous people, really, really nice, and they're there to help you and kind of guide you around if you want. So if you're in a car, SUV, truck, ATV, motorcycle, they got it all. Just stop on in, parking for everybody, the good old-fashioned farm store. Otherwise, again, ScholzeFamilyBeef.com. That is Scholze, SCHOLZE, ScholzeFamilyBeef.com. That is ScholzeFamilyBeef.com, ScholzeFamilyBeef.com. Benjamin Albright, by the way, has now come out and said that deal regarding the Packers, or at least what was supposedly reported regarding the Packers and the Denver Broncos, he said, look, it's totally fake, which I said at the time, Aaron Rodgers is worth a lot more than that. Just a couple of first-round picks and another pick. There's no way. You're picking up starters and everything. So he basically confirmed what we all thought, but said, nope, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. So pretty much what we thought, but there you go. There you go. Just a little more confirmation. And again, can we confirm it through Albright? Do you believe him that it's all fake? It's not going to happen? Okay. Let's do this. Let's go to Silvio. Listen to us in La Crosse. Silvio, how you doing today, man? What's going on?
Hey, not much. How's it going?
Doing okay today. What's on your mind?
Well, first off, I got to out myself and say that I'm a Bears fan here calling. A lot of respect for the Packers and the organization, caused me a lot of trouble through the years, but I think it's important to get just a dissenting opinion in there, just so it's not all Packer fans. So for starters, I think Aaron is not taking another snap as a Green Bay Packer. No way, not a chance. And I will say that it just has to do with his personality and just everything that's come out in the media. I think regardless of whether it's true or not true, what he said about the GM and that he doesn't want to play another year, I think it's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube, so to speak. And, I think that bridge is burned and the Packers are better off just getting whatever they can get for him, which would be a lot. And I think Jordan Love is going to do a good job. And I'm really excited to see him play the Bears and have Justin Fields walk all over him. But that's my 2 cents on the matter.
I appreciate the phone call, and thanks for kind of qualifying it as a Bears fan. You're right. He has, between him and Favre, they've been a pain in the rear end for quite some time. So thanks for the phone call.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Forbes, our buddy over there, Rob Reichel, who this just came out 10 minutes ago, says Aaron Rodgers has never been the easiest person to get along with, from showing up his wide receivers on the field to taking passive-aggressive comments at others, including his coaches. Through the media, Rodgers has ruffled his fair share of feathers in the locker room. Now, one current Green Bay Packer is taking a shot at Rodgers for his feud with the team. Rodgers said that he's never going to play again for the Green Bay Packers by sources. The peeved quarterback has been furious with the organization since they drafted Jordan Love in 2020 to be his eventual replacement, I should say. In a story at golongtd.com written by Tyler Dunn, the founder of the website, one current Packer is saying Rodgers' behavior shouldn't be a surprise. Aaron is intelligent, as an intelligent, trolling, petty mother blanker, the teammate said, who asked to remain anonymous because the Packers still employ him. He's going to get his last laugh. He's going to make you look blanking stupid for disrespecting him. As a front office, why haven't you anticipated this? Why are you getting blindsided? I'm not saying Aaron's evil, but this is like criminal mastermind plan. I told you this. One former Packers front office member also said that he was certain Rodgers would be traded or retire. Put it this way. They'd have to fire everybody, the source says. He's dug in. They'd have to make him the freaking owner of the team. The sense I get is the dude just wants control. 5 hours before the draft, we all know that Rodgers didn't want to play for Green Bay. It all got leaked out. Rodgers' camp let it be known. Rodgers' camp has let it be known that he is disgruntled. And once general manager Brian Gutekunst fired, Pro Football Talk is reporting, and I know most of you with Mike Florio and such are silver, don't believe that. Rodgers doesn't like anyone in the front office for a variety of reasons, the source says. The Athletic then reported that Rodgers is referred to, Gutekunst as Jerry Krause, on and on. While Rodgers has thrown one shot after another at the Packers in recent weeks, one of his current teammates is now firing back, and that shot is a doozy. Calling Rodgers, quote, he's an intelligent, trolling, petty mother blanker. He's going to get the last laugh, and he's going to make you look blanking stupid for disrespecting him. As a front office, why haven't you anticipated this? Why are you getting blindsided? I'm not saying Aaron's evil, but this is like a criminal mastermind plan. End quote. There you go. (877-867-1670), 877-1670. There you go. That is from Rob Reichel. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We got a lot more. I'll get to the phone calls. Carl and everybody on hold. Carl, Terry, Daniel, everybody, hang in there. I got a lot more of the Bill Michael Show. It's coming up right after this.
Ready? This is the Bill Michael Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. Right now, you can get 6 years no interest financing through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And why is 6 years a big deal? No interest lets you upgrade the old, the leaky, the sticky, the squeaky windows and doors to Pella, which is rated number one by many accounts as the highest value, highest quality, and increasing your home's value based upon surveys. Plus, installation from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin means you get peace of mind with a lifetime warranty. 10-year installation warranty as well. You know what that means? That means, unlike, say, when you buy a car and you get 2 years on a warranty, that's gone. But with Windows and such, you get 6 years to pay them off, but 10 years, they're under warranty, which means even after they're paid off, you still get something back in return for that, and that's peace of mind. Set up your free PellaWI.com/radio, PellaWI.com/radio, or call them 855-PELLA-WI. That is 855-PELLA-WI. Saw Gina Della from Pella yesterday, as a matter of fact, and had a terrific conversation. A lot of fun last night, getting out and enjoying some time together. But Pella Windows and Doors, they're the best. They really are. They're the best. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. Want to hear from you. We got some phone calls to get to. Let's see here. We've got Carl. Carl, welcome to the program, the Bill Michaels Show. What's going on, man?
Not too much, just working today, but had a break, so I listen to your show when I go home at lunch and stuff.
Thank you.
I'm in the camp for trading him, not because he's a jerk or a bad guy. I like Aaron, I respect Aaron, but I don't think he wants to be here anymore. Because if he did, he could say that, and he really hasn't. I think he's had opportunities to speak up, and I don't know all the details, but I'm sure the Bears fans, Vikings fans would love him to go somewhere else. But I don't want to trade him for that, because I hope this isn't a family show. But F the Bears and the Vikings. I'm not on it for them. I'm sure they wouldn't like to face him anymore. But let's make it an amicable split and let him go do what he wants to do. Kind of like what we didn't do with Brett, and then it turned into a grudge match. So I'd say let's get what we can for him. And unless we can't get anything for him, but what happens when players don't want to play somewhere? They get hurt, they underperform. I just don't want to see that happen.
Right. That I completely
agree. So I'm wondering if other people are in the camp of trading them, or where are most people?
I tell you what, Carl, I think it's kind of split. There's a lot of people that would love to see him come riding back in on a white horse and say, I want to be here and I want to be your quarterback and I want to give it all and I want to win a Super Bowl. I think others are, if you really don't want to be here, you're disrespecting my team, my community, get the hell out of here. I think there's a lot of people that are like that as well. I don't know what the majority is, but I do know that it's just this is just ugly. And I think part of it is people just want it to go away. They're tired of hearing about it. So now they're really starting to complain about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And per your last comment, that's why we need to get it done sooner or later. Because now you have, players coming out of the woodwork and, making disrespectful comments and splitting the team. And we don't need that either. Jordan,
you're right.
Yeah,
right.
But anyway, I think I just, and he's not even a named person, so that, but per your comment before, stand up. If you got something to say it.
Yeah. I appreciate the phone call. I get that. Thanks so much for taking a listen to us too during the lunch hour. And again, you're just tuning in. There's an article that just came out written by Rob Reichel, who also has talked to Tyler Dunn, who we just had on earlier this week. And there is a teammate who wants to remain anonymous, who says Aaron is intelligent, trolling, petty, MFer. He said he's going to get the last laugh. He's going to make you look blanking stupid for disrespecting him. Now, the teammate is not really taking a shot at Aaron, but he's basically saying, look, this guy's, he's intelligent. He's a trolling guy. He can be a petty guy. He's a mother blanker. But make no mistake about it, he's going to come back and make you look blanking stupid for disrespecting the guy. And then he goes on to say, as a front office, why did you not know this? Why did you get blindsided by all of this? And then he says, I'm not saying Aaron's evil, but the guy's got a criminal mastermind. And we all know that. There's nothing new here. It's just that now a former or a current player, I should say, is saying this. That's all. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. B-Rad says, enough going on in the world and don't need this garbage in sports. You know, Aaron can grow up, man, or whatever, and speak for himself instead of being a pompous ass and letting this continue. This causes division. Enough is enough. He says nothing. Just shows his real character better than the rest of the world. I really have no respect for him anymore. And that's, I think, what a lot of people are looking for now, because after all of this, people are saying, wait a minute, maybe it's time to hear from Aaron. Say yes, no, indifferent. What's going on? Hang in there. We got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. Another hour yet to go. Stay tuned. More coming up right after this.
Sports Zone update.
Well, the Packers' mandatory minicamp has been set for June 8th through the 10th. Those are the first dates for the team's offseason that Aaron Rodgers is required to attend, or he can be fined. Rodgers has not addressed the reports of the last week that indicate he does not want to return to the Packers due to differences with the front office. If he doesn't show up, it means a lot more work for Jordan Love, the second-year quarterback that Green Bay moved up in the first round to take last year. Coach Matt LaFleur says it'll be important for Love to focus on himself, not worry about what's going on with Rodgers.
I've talked to Jordan, and I told him there's a lot of noise out there. You can't focus on that. You got to focus on yourself. And I know you guys think it's cliche, but he's got to be the best version of him. And he's got to do everything in his power to make sure he knows the expectations, the standards that which we've developed at that position. You know, I know he's working hard.
GM Brian Gutekunst said last week Packers likely to bring in another quarterback or two this offseason.
Hey, honey, how was your day? Well, I brought home a delicious dinner and possibly $10K. That's $10,000. That's a good day. It's Quick Trip's take-home meals sweepstakes. Try our chicken, bacon, mac and cheese, spicy chicken penny, spaghetti, and more. Buy with your rewards card, and you could win $10,000. No purchase necessary. See stores for details. Dinner, fresh from our kitchen to heat and eat in yours. But let's be honest, they had me at $10K. The take-home meal sweepstakes from Quick Trip. We got dinner covered.
Well, the Brewers have lost 5 straight. That's after a 2-0 loss in Philadelphia yesterday afternoon, allowing the Phillies to finish off a 4-game sweep. Milwaukee could get nothing going against Zach Wheeler, who pitched a complete game. Brandon Woodruff struck out a season-high 11 for the Brewers. Milwaukee going to be in Miami tonight to open a series against the Marlins. And the Bucks back in action tonight against Houston. With the win, they could move into a tie with Brooklyn for the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. If they end up tied at the end of the year, Milwaukee owns the tiebreaker. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heil.
Hour number 4 of the Bill Michaels Show. Big weekend coming up in so many different facets. Only for the fact that it's Mother's Day. I want to say congratulations and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there. Hopefully you're doing something great with your mom or the mother of your kids. And hopefully the weekend is wonderful. And we're talking about more Brewers victories. The Bucks trying to get a win tonight back down at the Fiserv Forum, which would put them in a tie for second place in the Eastern Conference if the win streak continues. Brewers trying to shake off the losing streak, and eventually we, at some point or another, want to hear from Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully it happens sooner rather than later. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Let's go to Terry listening to us in Rice Lake. Terry, welcome to the program, The Bill Michaels Show, man. What's going on?
Hey, Bill. It's pretty nice day out there. It's a little bit cold, but
yeah, it's not bad.
I talked to you about that before with that Love and Rodgers, and you said, oh, it's going to be Rodgers coming back. I really do think he is. In the court of law, the thing of it is, they don't allow hearsay. But this is public opinion. And I think it's gone overboard. Until Rodgers gets up here and does not show up to the meetings that he's supposed to, or gets up here and says, I'm not coming back, then that's the end of it. That's my opinion.
Well, I think we all need to hear from Aaron Rodgers. So I completely agree with that. I think we all need to know what's going on. That's if he comes in and says, hey, I'm not coming back, or hey, it's out of my hands, or what have you, then we all know, we'll find out. But he could also come back and say, none of this is true. I'm good. I got my guys. I'm coming back. But
right. It's like he wants special attention. He's just being obnoxious and stubborn. And if he gets up there and says he's not coming back, then fine. Get rid of him.
The biggest number to circle right now is June 8th, because that is when the mandatory minicamp is now slated to begin. So if he's not here on June 8th, then there's an issue. Now the voluntary, and appreciate the phone call. Thanks for giving us a buzz. The voluntary the voluntary OTAs, which Aaron usually doesn't miss, is May 24th through the 25th and the 27th, and then June 1st and 2nd and the 4th. Then the mandatory minicamp is June 8th through the 10th. So if he's not through any of those and he doesn't show up on the 8th through the 10th and we don't hear from him at that point, then everything being said is pretty much validated. Not that it's not now, but everything is being validated. Just an FYI. That's what because if you don't hear from Aaron between now and then and he doesn't show up, then it's it is what it is. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You want to hit us up? Do it. Want to hit us up? Go ahead and do it. Back to the phone lines. Let's go to Daniel listening to us in Toma. Daniel, how you doing today, man? What's up?
Okay, I got a different process of this. We always look for excuse in Wisconsin for a party. So I think we should have an organization of whoever wants Rodgers to stay, support him. We believe in him. Go to the, this side of the area. They probably have to go to the fairgrounds. It'll be a big party. And then go to the left. Anybody who wants to trade him, go over here. And then show who wants to support him. I know fans don't control it, but supporting the fans helps out a lot. What do you think of that idea?
As far as throwing a party, and then if you want to bring in fans that support him, he comes back?
No, support him, go to the right, and then he can see that how many fans really support him and just want him here. And then you get over here, the ones that want to trade him, and it's just an excuse. And then, supporting the fans makes people. If you ever done sports, when you got people on your side, you play a lot better.
Yeah.
And there's part of it, not all of it, is how many fans were calling on your line telling to get rid of him 2 years ago. Because, he's getting old. Let's get rid of him because he had bad knees. He's got this and that. Let's get rid of him. So this way he can see the fans back him up. And yes, the front office, and I'll tell you right now in that front office, they better understand, if they do get rid of him and we go 0-16 or 3-16 or 3-13 or 4, they're out of here. The fans will run them out of town if we go from a winning team to a losing team. The coach should be fired. General manager be fired. And Murphy, I have my opinion about that sometimes. But, I know it's a tough job. But you know what? We've never had a losing season in how many years? So if you go there that bad of a season, the front office and that better just pack up and go get out of it, because we will not put up with it. Do you agree with that?
No, I completely get it. I 100% understand where you're coming from.
No matter how much. And I'm a Packer fan, not an individual. When Favre left. We always had it, but I agree into Love, and when it comes to Love, the reason that he's upset about it is Love. Love would have been drafted in the first round by any other team? No,
I don't think so.
Love would have probably been a third-round pick, maybe a fourth-round pick. They put him in a first-round pick, and there's no reason for it. Why did they do that? That's what hurts. This guy, if they would have just fell in his lap, drafted him as just another quarterback. Since they moved up, and they're trying to say to him, we're replacing you. That's what the problem is. He should have been drafted in the third round. Do you agree with that or not?
I think he would have either been drafted in the late second or early third. That's just my opinion. Now, Daniel, appreciate the phone call.
Second or third.
Yeah, I think late second, early third. But depends on who you look at. I mean, Todd McShay thought he was going to be drafted by the Chargers early on in the draft as maybe the 10th overall pick. But, you know, again, what I read coming out of the Ourlad scouting guide was that he had a lot of, quote, raw talent, but not first-round talent. And that's the big thing. And then not only did they say he didn't have – now, again, I go back to what Brian Gutekunst said. Just before the draft, he said, you cannot fall in love with a player. Well, don't you think that they kind of fell in love with Jordan Love? That's why when he said that, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Doesn't that seem some ship? Because didn't they indeed fall in love with Jordan Love? Enough so to trade up to get him? You know? 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Daniel said throw a party so Aaron Rodgers can see all the people that love him. I think even the people that don't like him right now, if he would come back, would love him again. I just think it's kind of like it's I don't know. It's just, you know, you feel if the guy doesn't want to play for your team and you believe that, then you feel scorned. You know, and people don't want those around them that make them feel scorned. And going back to the Forbes article written by Rob Reichel that came out today, which quotes through Tyler Dunn's GoLongTD.com website, where a teammate, current teammate on the Packers roster says Aaron is an intelligent, trolling, petty mother blanker. He's going to get the last laugh. He's going to make you look effing stupid for disrespecting him. As a front office, why haven't you anticipated this? Why are you getting blindsided? I'm not saying Aaron's evil, but this is like a criminal mastermind plan. And then one front office person says, or former front office person with the Packers says, put it this way, they'd have to fire everybody. He, meaning Aaron, is dug in. They'd have to make him the freaking owner of the team. The sense I get is the dude just wants control. Then Gary responded over on the Facebook live feed, or not on Facebook live feed, but on the Bud Light live feed. He said they did see it coming. They told him, meaning Aaron, don't be the problem. Right? I don't think there's any real breaking news there. It just, again, it gives you a little more insight as to what goes on behind the scenes. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. It's not what everybody wants to hear. I know that. Let's see here. This is from Jay Wall, who says, Rodgers has hated the media for a long time. Everything was lies and clickbait. The Packers and Rodgers know the real story. He doesn't have time for media gossip. Well, if they know the real story, and I'm not, I mean, everybody does. I mean, you know, those behind the scenes there at 1265 and Aaron Rodgers, they know the real story. But again, why then? Why did they confirm it? You know? Why did they confirm it? Why did they say, yeah, we went out there and talked to Aaron with Mark went out, Brian went out, Matt went out. Why did they confirm all of that? If none of this was true, why confirm it? That's you. Again, I can appreciate that there's fans that really just want this all to go away. And I can appreciate, I said yesterday, I woke up, I still do. I wake up some mornings since this thing is all kind of, broken. And I think to myself, I can't imagine life in Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers. I can't do that. I could see, because we had become accustomed to the back and forth of will he or will he not retire with Brett. I could see that. This I can't fathom. I'll wake up and I'll say, can't fathom this. I can't think about life after Aaron Rodgers. You know? So I don't I don't think that people want to listen, and I don't think people really want to dig. I don't think people really want to believe. And when I say dig, I'm talking about look at not just one source to take out your ire and angst at, but everybody that's talking about it. I mean, this is, again, people, this is not just from one person. I mean, there's a column today on the New York Times or New York Post, Journal Sentinel, Forbes. Those are 3 independent magazines, news subscriptions that have all got their own confirmation. Pelissaro from the NFL Network, Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, NBC, Mike Tirico. I mean, it's just, so you just kind of wait and see what Aaron says, right? You wait and see what Aaron said. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. So we'll see what happens. Clarence, listening to us, by the way, up in Menominee and Marinette, says, listening every day on WMAM. Love the show. Thank God you're back. He says, all of this is tempting to believe until the parties actually speak. I have to admit, Brian Gutekunst stumbled and fumbled over his words because he knows that everybody we know knows. He knows that everybody we know knows. Okay, so I'm just reading this correctly. And then he goes on to say, Mark Murphy sounded like a deer in the headlights, and poor Matt LaFleur looked like he was going to throw up when he was at the podium. I think the Packers know that the end is near, that they have to do something drastic to get Aaron back in the fold, but this indeed is personal. Therefore, I don't see Aaron coming back. It is a sad day in Green Bay. Thanks for listening to us up in WMAM, Menominee and Marinette. Great station up there. Good people up there, too. Let's do this. We'll break. We'll come back. Trevor's got an email. We can take Trevor's email, and if you want to chime in, go ahead and do so. Gladiator Dave says that, hey, at least the Bucs are winning right now, and that MVP has not gone down with any injury. Things, at least around Giannis, are good. Keep your fingers crossed. Gladiator Dave, you are 100% correct. When you've got our MVP in Christian Yelich, he is down. Aaron Rodgers, seemingly, at least reportedly, 1 foot out the door, and then you've got Giannis to depend upon. Whew, boy, keep your fingers crossed. More of the Bill Michaels Show is next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Allergies killing me today. We just read you some of the comments out of the article that Tyler Dunn wrote on the golongtd.com website. Grabbed him real quick. Tyler's now joining us on the line. Tyler, how you doing, buddy?
Good afternoon, Bill. Always be on, man. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're crushing it. So you've got a current player, kind of dropping some information, and he basically said that Aaron Rodgers is brilliant. He's petty. He can be all kinds of stuff, and he's an MFer. So, I mean, to me, it all depends on how it's said. So kind of explain this a little bit to people that are just tuning in.
Oh, that was 100% a compliment. He meant that in the best way possible. That in his mind, Aaron Rodgers, like, this was mapped out. That's his hypothesis here as a teammate, that the Jordan Love pick obviously pissed him off, and he was quiet, and he waited until this off season, and everybody thought, he'll be back. Jordan Love can develop, and then he drops his bomb on the franchise. And, granted, it's been weeks, it's been months probably that they've gone back and forth, and we're just learning about all this now. But I think that he is dug in. Teammates believe he's dug in. People around the NFL believe he's dug in. We'll see. People can change their minds. Like, I know James Jones and John Kuhn offered, little slivers of hope. Who knows? I mean, they know him well. I'll just say what I've heard, and it's what a lot of people have heard, and that's that it isn't about money. It's not. I don't think it's even about winning. If it was about winning, he'd stay in Green Bay because the roster is arguably the best in the NFL. It's about principle and it's about power, and those are two things that can be difficult for a player with his personality and his grudge holding to get past. I mean, it's part of what makes him great, one of the best quarterbacks ever. I would be surprised if he just changed his mind, but we'll see.
So, and again, that's the way I was kind of reading it. It didn't sound like this guy, this player that you talked to, was knocking Rodgers. They're just saying, look, these are all the qualities that make him this way. And how did the front office not see this coming? And this guy's a mastermind at what he does. And like you said, the way I kind of read it, if I read between the lines, was that this guy's just smarter than the average bear. How did you not see this coming? He's pissed off at you, and there's not much you're going to be able to do to change his mind.
Totally. That's it. It's that, and I think that everybody around the league is kind of thinking the same way. That if anybody, how he would react to a, it's the. I mean, they've been around him now, this organization, for 16 years. So, I mean, that's true. It's all true. That's where the quarterback's coming from, and he believes, when you're the MVP of the league, that there should be some things that come with that. Some say in personnel, I think the Jake Kumerow thing is 100% accurate. Heard that as well. Jordy Nelson's released. There's so many examples I'm sure that we haven't even heard. But it's for the Packers too. It's an old school setup. The GM and the front office, I mean, they pick the players, the coaches coach the players play, all of that. And maybe they should have tweaked and evolved over time, as times change. I think people around the league do think that they should have evolved. I tend to think, though, that Green Bay has done enough. They offered him the most money at the position, according to Bob McGinn. They've surrounded him with just a ton of talent. It's a really good roster. They've given him control at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he can do what he wants. He can change plays. He can audible. He's got that freedom. I don't know. This isn't abnormal. I mean, teams do draft quarterbacks, and the ball is literally in Aaron Rodgers' hands. As long as he plays great football, he's the quarterback until he says he doesn't want to be the quarterback. I think that definitely took the Packers by surprise.
Now, I know yesterday Shefter comes out and says, well, I didn't have a specific source on draft day. I'm only going by what the accumulation of information I've had along the way. So let me ask you this, and you just said, from people I've talked to, from sources and such, do we believe that Aaron Rodgers truly, one, is pissed off, two, has dug his heels into the fact that he just doesn't want to come back to Green Bay, and three, that it's going to take a minor miracle for him to come back to the Green Bay Packers?
That's where you do wonder, with some former teammates saying what they've said this week. Is his stance softening? I mean, we have to speculate, right? Because he hasn't said anything. It's been anonymous messaging from the quarterback, so we're left to kind of guess here. Maybe he is laying the foundation for a return. I mean, you could make that argument that he is finding a way to get to the middle here and is willing to meet with management. All I can say is I haven't heard that. I haven't heard it from teammates. I haven't heard it from people who know the quarterback and people who know the front office. That hasn't changed at all. I would put it at a small percentage. From my understanding, that he returns to Green Bay. I still think that he's either traded or retires. I think that could be a legit possibility.
Is it a bad move for the Packers if they allow him to retire without getting anything for him?
I think it is. And that's what I wrote today at Go Long is, look, I mean, you can go on the offensive here if you're Green Bay, and you can kind of take charge. I mean, right now, you flip on the TV, and it's that Aaron Rodgers has all the chips on his side of the table, right? Like he has all the leverage, he has all the control. On Green Bay, it's like, and if he isn't budging, embrace the Jordan Love era. Like, really, as crazy as it sounds to say and to write, like, he could be really, really good. And talking to people who know him, who know his game, they insist, like, you can't judge him off of practice and running the scout team. I mean, he's a gamer. He improvises. He's creative. I mean, you drafted him 26th overall for a reason. You probably wanted to wait another season, but Aaron Rodgers changed those plans. And look, if you're tied to this guy anyways, just embrace him and take that king's ransom to rebuild. Heck, I mean, I wouldn't be stubborn if I was running the team. I'm not for a reason, but you can go on the offensive here. You can get 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 blue chippers. One front office exec I talked to, he thought it'd be no problem if the Packers, they get to that point where they will trade Aaron Rodgers. He thought they could get the 2 firsts, the 2 seconds, a Jerry Jeudy, a Bradley Chubb, hypothetically from Denver. To me, that's a pretty good haul, for a guy who doesn't want to play football for you.
I wanted to go back. I was just going to ask you what you thought they could get for him. Now, we just heard from Denver, and at least we speculate from Denver. I mean, I know some back channels are saying some of it's Elway, some of it's representation and such. There's only a handful, and I'm not even taking San Francisco out of the mix from what I've heard, because that's obviously the place that he would love to go, and he knows that offense, and he thinks Kyle Shanahan is freaking brilliant. So if there is a front runner in all of this, where do you think he lands?
I think Denver. It's going to be interesting because, to my knowledge, there isn't a no trade clause. So the Packers, they could make this really interesting, right? Like they do have some say in where they send him, and Aaron Rodgers is absolutely going to want to have a say in where he goes. So that also makes it interesting. I just think Denver is a safer trade. It's in the AFC. They do have a lot of young talent you could pick from. A couple quarterbacks. If you want to throw one of them in to compete with Jordan Love or give him a little bit of time. And, the picks are the picks. Obviously, if you had Aaron Rodgers, he's probably going to get you to the playoffs. It's not going to be that great of a pick. But that's anywhere. So I like Denver. With Jeudy, with Chubb, with the different players they have there, that makes sense. Granted, we're all just kind of playing armchair GM here. The Packers have to get to that point, and I'm not sure they're there yet. Aaron Rodgers could get them to that point, though.
2 things, and then I'll let you go. One is, in the quote, it says, Aaron is an intelligent, trolling, petty mother blanker. If that's the case, which we all understand from different sources and different people we've talked to over the years, that he's very, kind of that way, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's just kind of the way he is. If he's that petty in some sense, what do you think he is thinking right now? Because this has got to be either one, he's sitting back like a deviant mind and Lex Luthor sitting overlooking the Pacific Ocean in the Malibu mansion, rolling his thumbs with a sifter of scotch next to him because he's making the world spin. Either that, or it's got to be eating at him with all the things that are now being said about him. Don't you? He could come back and scorch the earth and say, none of it's true. I'm coming back to Green Bay. I love the fans. To hell with everybody. Everything's a lie. He could blow everybody up in one fell swoop, right?
You just laid it out perfectly, and that's what we don't know. This teammate believes it's the former, that he is kind of sitting back and enjoying this. I mean, we saw the pictures at the Kentucky Derby. You do start to wonder, and this is where we can let our minds go. But the Shefter stuff, the teammates coming out saying what they say, is this like a slow return to, okay, maybe I'll sit down with the Packers, maybe we can find common ground? It could be. I mean, he's given himself that plausible deniability to say it was all a bunch of smears and fake news and, don't believe what the stuff he has said before. I mean, he could do that, which is interesting because I don't think the Packers would sabotage themselves.
Right.
They don't want this information out. They don't talk to anybody. So, but still, he has given himself that out. It's absolutely a possibility. I still think, though, he is sincerely dug in and isn't going to budge and wants out and is principled that way for better or worse. And we'll see. It's a long ways to June 1st, right? So things could change.
Then before I let you go, how long do the Packers let this play out? We saw this go on for a long back and forth when Brett Favre wanted to come back and then finally flew back into town and got in during the family night. And finally they barred him from the building and he just wouldn't go away. How long do the Packers let this play out before a deal is then struck?
And that's really why I wrote the story I did today, because it seems like they're kind of losing control of this situation, and they can take it back. They can take this new direction as a franchise. You're not going to be afraid of it. It's not apocalyptic. You've done it before. You took Jordan Love for a reason. This is a incredible roster. I mean, it just takes a little belief, right, to take that big plunge. I do think, look, it's nothing until June 1st because the cap hits better then, and then maybe you do open up those conversations. I don't think those conversations have started. I don't think they are open to trading them. From what I've heard, hasn't happened yet because it doesn't need to happen yet. It could in June. I think, and also it would help if they did get to see Jordan Love, right? It would help if they had him in OTAs, right? It would help if they had him in OTAs, kind of see where he's at, put him in there with the first team. He was on scout team all last year. He was literally somebody else every week. He was never able to just be himself and be creative and grow as the quarterback that we saw at Utah State. So I think that's important. They would love to get him in that setting before they hand him the keys to the franchise as well. So we'll see how it shakes out. I'll say this, though, talking to his private QB coach, his backup at Utah State, is one of his receivers at Utah State, Mark Ross, who really loved him coming out of college. He's worked in front offices for a couple of decades. There's a lot to love in Jordan Love. There's a lot to his game that we're not talking enough about. It's easy to dismiss him as a game day inactive who couldn't beat out Tim Boyle. Let's not forget in 05 that Craig Nall, by all accounts, and Bob McGinn has a great column on this if you dig through the archives, Craig Nall should have been the number 2. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was not good his first year either. So believe it or not, quarterbacks can improve, and you can bank on upside.
Good stuff as always, Tyler. We'll keep in touch, buddy, and anytime something comes up, you let me know, okay?
You got it, Bill. Thanks
right,
so
buddy.
much, man.
Talk to you soon. There you go. Tyler Dunn, golongtd.com. That's golongtd.com. You can go there and read his stuff and subscribe, and fantastic stuff. And he got somebody inside that Packers locker room to talk who again, he's quoted in this article. He said, quote, Aaron is an intelligent, trolling, petty mother blanker. He also said he's going to get the last laugh. He's going to make you look effing stupid for disrespecting him. As a front office, why haven't you anticipated this? Why are you getting blindsided? I'm not saying Aaron's evil, but this is like a criminal mastermind plan. End quote from a player inside. And again, it's in the most positive of way for Aaron because he's like, look, this cat, he knows exactly what he's doing. He takes everything to heart. He takes everything and wears it on his sleeve. He puts all these chips on his shoulder, and then he's going to come back and get you. And how did you not see this coming? So that's from somebody inside the Packers locker room. I'm going to step away, take a quick break, come back. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the Bill Michaels Show. We continue on. We were talking a little bit earlier with Todd Campbell, the GM over at the Four Seasons Island Resort on the Moscano Island up in Pembine, Wisconsin. They're now open 7 days a week, and all the Marinette County ATV trails wide open. You can load up the side-by-side, take the ATVs up there, and they've got trailer parking and direct access to the trails right around back. You can leave your truck and trailer in the parking lots, hit the trails immediately on the other side of that old steel and wooden bridge. Really cool if you've never been up there. It's just a really neat place. And all this year, they've got new guided waterfall tours up there. They have got, obviously, we talked about the golf course, both golf courses, the one on the island, the 9-hole executive, and then Timberstone Championship Golf Course is up in the UP, which is not far away. Both of them are open. And they're already getting a lot of play. If you want to book a tee time, by all means do so. But they have got a lot of new stuff inside the Four Seasons. They've been renovating, upgraded internet. They've got lodging, outdoor adventure. I mentioned golf, pontoon cruises, kayak and canoe rentals, fishing, the direct access to the ATV trails. There's tennis courts, volleyball courts, horseshoes. Look, they've got some for everybody. Big indoor swimming pool, saltwater swimming pool too, which is not bad for the skin. And the Lily's Ice Cream Parlor, the old-fashioned ice cream parlor, and there's Boundary Water Sports Bar and Grill in the Diamond Room. They have all new menus and new items, and plus the old traditionals. So there's so much to do up there. There really is. And then they've obviously, if you stop up there and you want to talk to your server or your bartender, whatever, about the Al Capone era, the history, they all know the history. The history is amazing. But get a hold of them. Get a hold of our girl Barb up there right now. B-A-R-B at the4 seasons wi.com. You can get a reservation. But here's one caveat to the whole deal. Make sure you say, "Dear Barb, my name is, fill in blank. My name is, and I'm thinking about coming up for the weekend. I'd like the Bill Michaels special. And we'd like to come up on this particular date." Just say that. Barb at the4, Barb at the4 seasons wi.com. That is Barb at the4 seasons wi.com. And if you just want to call the front desk and make a reservation, get more information, 715-324-5800. Really cool place. It's a one-tank trip here in our own backyard. So if you want to get away without really going far away, 715 715-324-5800. 715-324-5800. Trevor says the Green Bay Packers are not doing anything wrong. They're doing what's best for the Packers organization because that's their job. They have to protect the team, not one player. Do you think Aaron Rodgers leaving is what's best for the team? And that's, I mean, my opinion is no, but, you know, if your opinion is yes, then maybe that's what you feel. That's what's best for the team. You know? I don't necessarily agree with that, but you have to kind of make that your own determination. You know what I mean? Do you feel the Packers are doing what's best for the team? 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. Hey, Craig, how you doing, man? Craig from the land of Pizza Del Rey. Craig, you the man. Craig, you the man. I miss me some Pizza Del Rey. Got to get back. When I get up to Eau Claire, I'll be back for sure. I'll stop in. Say hi. Let's go to Charlie listening to us in Madison. Charlie, how you doing today, buddy? What's up?
Hey, what's the hat, man? Second time I got you on. I'm in a state of shock. I don't know what they want to do with Aaron Rodgers. He's a head case, in my opinion. All he thinks about himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up Chico, California. Boy, that place is big. I stationed in San Diego, and my aunt lives in the Bay Area, and holy cow, that place is big.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's California, huge area, no doubt. 35.5 million people.
Yeah, my God. But, you know, whatever happens. You know, if he wants to retire from football, go back to Jeopardy, James.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty damn good in that show, Jeopardy. And, yeah, I don't know what to think about him anymore. But Jordan's ready, waiting wings, and I don't know. We went out and drafted a quarterback during the draft.
Yeah,
I think we had one heck of a draft. In my book, I give us a B, and thanks for taking my call. You all rock, man.
All right, appreciate it, man. Talk to you soon, Charlie.
The first time I called in the show.
Thanks, buddy. Keep calling. Appreciate it. There you go. That's Charlie from Madison, listening to us on our flagship station, The Zone out there, 1670 AM, 96.7 FM. Charlie's all wound up. Charlie's all wound up. I think it was a pretty good draft. And again, drafts, you can give them an A, B, C, D. We don't really know until a year or two at least down the road. Then you start looking at drafts going, you know, here's what it is. But nevertheless, you know what we need? You know what we need? You know what you need? You know what I need? You know what we need? Are you getting it? You know what we need? We need a drink. That's what we need. We need everybody to come together. We need a drink. Yeah, boy. It is time. As I'm heading down to the bar, I'm going to come back. I'm going to return with a glass full of Bud Light. And we're going to get into our Friday afternoon traditional chug challenge. And we are going to start off our weekend in the right fashion. And I've always said this is like adults in a bar talking sports. We can argue, we can, you know, go back and forth, but it doesn't mean we don't walk away friends by the time it's all said and done. I argue with my friends all the time. You're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. You're a moron. No, you're a moron. Your mother's this. No, your mother's that. Your wife's this. No, your wife's that. And then we all walk away going, okay, we're cool. Right? So let's do this. We're going to step away. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to do ourselves one chug challenge because God knows, after this week and everything that's gone on and all the craziness and all the anger and all the angst and all the consternation, God knows we need a drink. Holy mackerel. We got more of the Bill Michaels Show. It's coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
AMR is coming to Road America, and I've been telling you about this, and we certainly hope that if you haven't already, sign up. If you haven't already signed up, go to thebillmichaels.com. That is Bill Michaels, MICHAELS.com, and you can register to win right now. And it's coming June 17th through the 20th. Whether or not you're into racing, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful place. If you've never been to Road America, I encourage you, really encourage you. It is just such a cool venue. Not just the racing, but just the vistas and the hills and the undulation and such. And it is so vast. And the IndyCar event's always fun. There's a party. I mean, there's a party around all the campsites. And the camping's everywhere, by the way. Party around all the campsites. The one thing I will say, I encourage you, if you do go and you do decide to rent a space, if you don't win it from us, make sure you get a golf cart to get around that place. Unless you got a motorcycle or something like that, you can kind of ride around a little bit, or a moped or, a little motorbike of some type. But it's a lot of fun. We want to set you up with this. Look, we're going to give you race tickets, a campsite, and a tailgate party for you and 5 of your friends. Okay, we're going to do some brats, beverages, got the ribs on a stick, beverages from Budweiser as well, our friends at Bud Light, from our friends at Quick Trip. And we're going to catch all the IndyCar action. And we got to say thanks because we're going to be tailgating in the brand new to us, Big unit cruiser, compliments of Cunis RV, which they're just awesome people. They're our on-site sponsors now. They're taking us all over. So Cunis RV, if you can go and support them, if you're looking for an RV, if you're looking for a trade-in, if you're looking for a new one, if you're looking for whatever it is, Cunis RV, it's like Four Seasons Island Resort. I want you to ask for the Bill Michaels special. So go to Cunis RV, get complete event details and everything for your chance to win right now. Go to thebillmichaels.com, thebillmichaels.com. We want to give you tickets, campsite, tailgate with you, party with you, hang with you, myself, Kristen, and Elmo. I believe that I'm going to be bringing Elmo with me. Hopefully the RV and everything is good when we get it, and there's enough space to kind of keep him in and everything. And we want to bring our Elmo with us because I don't want to leave him behind. Without Mickey. He's struggling a little bit without Mickey. So we're going to have everybody there. So please come and join us and simply go to thebillmichaels.com. All right. Before I get back to the phone calls, right here, our friends at the Social House. And I got to support our friends at Burn Pit Barbecue. Burn Pit Barbecue. They are veteran-owned barbecue sauce and such. Look them up online. Our friends at Burn Pit Barbecue. They supplied me with the glass last time, and I want to use it as much as I can. They're good people over there. So it is time. Evo, Rowdy, you guys ready to go?
Hell yeah, Bill. Let's
Hell yeah. Good stuff. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Chug it. There we go. Gonski. Washing away all the Packers drama. Cheers to the Brewers getting some wins this weekend. The Bucks getting a win tonight. I feel better already. Now we can start our weekend officially. Got a couple people. Let's go to Paul real quick, listening to us up at WMAM in Marinette. Paul, how you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Bill? Hey, I got to ask you real quick. Was that a 12-ounce or was that a pint?
That was a full pint glass.
All right, because I just drank one of the tall bottles at the same time.
Oh, you're the man.
You know, the 18 ounces?
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. What's up?
What I wanted to mention, I've talked to Evo and the guys quite a bit lately. It is a whole thing about the Aaron Rodgers saga. We should just go away because at the end of the day, who really cares? The guy, you know, obviously I'm not a Packer fan, I'm a Bear fan, by the way, so I'm loving it. But get rid of him, get what you can for him. You know what I mean? Like, all that drama just needs to go away because, you know, the Packers got to worry about their organization. Someone just said it. Why hold them? I mean, you know, the Kumro thing and all the other things that have happened, I think they've all stacked up, and finally he's, you know, riding around Green Bay in the back of a truck with a case of beer. I don't know what that was all about, but maybe that was a precursor to this, you know?
Right.
But, yeah, what I really called about is a while ago you were talking about the golf courses, the Four Seasons, which is a great course, that course. And about Michigan and Wisconsin having 6 of the top 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, I don't know if you've ever been to Mackinac Island, but if you get a chance, hidden gems, seriously.
Really?
The Jewel, which is Grand Hotel's course, and then the Back Nine, which is the Woods, which you have to take a horse carriage from the first one to the second one because it's that far away.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, but they're beautiful, beautiful courses. And then you got the oldest continuously played Scottish Links course, I believe, in the United States, also, which is called the Washkable Golf Club. So I just wanted to chime in on that because if anybody listening hasn't been, and if you're going up, don't get me wrong, it's expensive. It's going to cost you about, I don't know, this is years ago. It's going to probably cost you about $130 for 18 holes, but it's well worth it.
That's you know what? Appreciate the information, man. Thanks for giving us a buzz, being the last one on the air with us today, and this week, for a matter of fact. Brewers coming up later on tonight, taking on the Miami Marlins. Brent Suter, the lefty, going to the hill against Trevor Rodgers. Hopefully, the Bucks get a win tonight. Maybe the Rodgers stuff settles down by next week. And I got some wedding stuff tonight. Going to be in Port Washington tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and if you are not a mother, and maybe you're the son or the husband, you know, guys, go do something good for moms, okay? Go do something good for moms. And hopefully we're talking about different things come next week, or happier things come next week. Time for us to go. Have a tremendous weekend. Good